No.
If you get taken by the hurt,
James. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lich's Archive, the show where I try to get people to be quiet for 5 seconds, and it's even harder than holding cats. I do
It
have
really
some.
is.
I do have some sad news. One of our beloved players, Tap Tap, is stepping out. They ended up realizing that they have better things to do on their Wednesdays, and they're going to presume life outside of D&D for now. They might join back later, but there's like no hard feelings, nothing like that. Nothing happened between us, no drama like that. It's just, it's part of being D&D, you know? You make sessions, you don't make sessions, people come, people go. Don't think too much about it, don't be too worried about it, but they will be missed.
They just realized it's sunny outside and you can go and do things now.
Yeah, my voice is
Ew.
really hard to listen to for long periods of time.
Like
That
right-
was the other thing that kind of killed the mood. I just can't take them.
Nobody wants to listen to you.
But besides that, last we left off, our group was in the town of Thornbluff. They were doing a bit more investigating. They were trying to settle in for the night, but before people could even fall asleep, Core decided to walk for the tower. Tap Tap decided to follow. Next thing you know, Shalashar, Ava, they're going, and AC said, "No, I'm not doing this." And after some loud noises, there was a brief conversation about how it's rude to keep people up. They said, "Yo, we good? You guys done?" My sound is way too loud all of a sudden, and then they split up. They said, "All right, I'm going back. I'm going to look into something else." They ended up with Bismuth, and they made their way outside of town, looking to do something. But while they were doing that, the rest of the group looked into the tower. Some words were set off. Then Shalashar figured out a way to bypass some of these wards, and as they were moving this cart, jumping to the second floor, the wards were somehow disarmed with the use of, I believe it was marbles or something, when you threw something in there, set some things off. Continued through this tower, journals were found, puzzles were solved, and then you guys ran into a very odd floating mini beholder, some sort of beholder-esque thing.
I love Lich.
Jitch was his name. There was a odd conversation. There was a lot of "not in my backyard" said. There were some things still done in his backyard, particularly by Cole, when he figured out how to slip past this creature. After a bit more investigating, the group decided maybe a bit above our pay grade for now. Let's go look into AC. And while AC was out there with Bismuth and a couple of other people, Thornbluff, much to no one's surprise, was attacked once again by none less than a couple of squirrels, a giant flying bird, and a buck-eyed bear that came rolling down from the hills. After a brief
Literally.
fight, AC was left quite bloody, but everyone else managed to survive. Well, except for a couple of the other people we didn't quite get the names of. A-Rod put his bow to use, shot down a bird. Tap Tap ran that way as the rest of the group tried to get to AC. And as they get there, Bismuth's hand is mauled, the bear lies dead, the squirrel scattered. That's where we join, coming into just outside of Thornbluff. The rain pattering down around you, thunder going off in the distance. Are you guys running towards AC still now that danger has passed, or what's kind of like the tone as you guys are almost reuniting once again?
I think the best thing that I would do is try and meet up with the group to make sure that everyone is all right. After we saw the dwarf, I believe he was, sprint past us.
Bismuth?
Yep, he took off running.
Yeah, he's slowed down now, but he is like kind of behind you guys, and he's like kind of clutching his hand, and he's like looking things over. But he's,
I think I'll go see Bismuth just to make sure that he's all right. And then AC's presumably going to come over this way, so I'll approach
Yeah,
Bismuth if I can.
Presume.
Bismuth's behind you, and he's like, his hand's pretty mushed up at this point, and it looks like he's like ripped off part of his. He's trying to. It's difficult to rip with one hand, so instead he's just wrapping his cloak around his hand, and it looks like he's bleeding through it. Maybe the rain is helping, but whatever he's doing, the cloak doesn't seem to be. The cloak's very absorbing, and it seems to be doing its job in that way, but maybe not stemming the blood as he's wrapping his hand as tightly as he can.
I'd like to approach him and, do you need a hand?
Oh,
I'm,
yeah, that's a good fucking line, isn't it?
Do you want me to heal you or not?
Yeah, a healer? He, like, takes it, and it is a mulched hand. He looks like, almost like it was, like, cloven in two, and it's just covered, and it's barely a hand at this point. Nasty looking wound as he, like, holds it out to you, but very tenderly. His hand's, like, shaking badly as he holds it out to you.
Okay, I'm going to, if I remember correctly, we were going to level at the end of last session, correct?
After you take a long rest, yes.
That's what I figured. Okay, so while I still have this use, I'm going to use my Channel Divinity, and I'm going to reverse my damage turned into healing, and I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds on this man's hand to inflict unwounds.
Unwounds. Alright, roll for that. Describe it to me. What does it look
Trademark.
like as you
Healing.
do this? Inflict healing, as you inflict healing.
So that is 22 unhealing, undamage.
I mean, please describe it to me.
I'm going to reach into my my cowl, and I'm going to pull out a small black gem.
Your cowl?
Yeah, it comes down and it's like a full cloak, so there's a smaller
Okay.
portion over my shoulder where I keep things. But I'm going to reach in and I'm going to pull out a small gem. I'm going to rub it between my hands until it starts glowing with a black heat. There's a kind of like a black aura emanating from it. And I'm going to crush it against the bone in his hand, and
He starts screaming.
It's just gonna shatter and splinter and cast black shards all over, while his hand slowly cracks back into place and forms.
Nice. So, behind you guys as you're running, you just hear this dwarf, and he's just howling and then just stops. It's like, oh, look at that. Good boy, lad. And he claps you on the shoulder with the same hand.
You all right now? Everything? Were there some others with you?
Ah, right. Actually, you are correct. Probably what we should go do is gather up the bodies, get them into town before anything else shows up. That's probably the best thing. I'll head to town and I'll get a sled or something. If you wanna, I don't know, gather up your group as well, and maybe secure the perimeter.
I'll go ahead and see what the situation is down there.
He's so shocked he's forgotten his accent in this moment. As he makes his way
I forgot what accent you gave him.
back to
So I
town.
healed his hand and his lisp.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It was Bismuth.
That was intentional. So, I just finished shanking this giant squirrel that I had splashed pickle juice into the eyes of and blinded, yeah?
Yep. Big
So I'm gonna-
squirrel.
Yeah, so I'm gonna spit on it, and I'm gonna start, rumbling to myself in Dwarvish, and I stumble a couple of steps closer, reach down, and I just, thumb both eyes out, and drop them in my bag of pickling. So I was told by this one person back in town I grew up in that, pickled eyeballs on toast is pretty good, apparently. I'm gonna try it out.
Professor Shrek, of course.
Yep. So I popped those into my bag of pickling. Do I know if I need to refill the bag now that I've splashed a bunch of pickle juice at things, or does it magically refill?
Roll an arcane check for me.
I would have to do that because I'm actually trained in arcane.
If you pee in it, does it pickle your pee?
Dirty 20! 17 plus 3, dirty 20.
You're honestly not entirely sure. You're aware that it depends on two things. One, if this was based off of a bag of holding, then probably not. But if it was more based on like an alchemy jug or something like that, then it should be self-refilling.
Mhm.
You'd just probably have to check it on the next day or find a way to like keep track on it. But there is a 50-50 shot here.
Okay.
And if it does refill, or if it doesn't, there might be some other qualities to this bag that you have yet to uncover.
Okay. Good to know. Did I manage to keep the vegetables that I had already put in here in when I splashed the squirrel in the eyes? Like, I had a carrot, a potato, a turnip, and a cucumber in here. Are they all still in there when I pop the eyes in the bag?
Seems to be. At least, do you think that's a carrot floating there?
Okay. It looks like things are all still in there, okay.
Yeah, the bag's just done.
I'm gonna look around. I have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
I do have dark vision, so. But I'm gonna glance around. Do I see anybody heading my way that looks like a threat?
There's a red dragon-looking thing with spotly armor and a known killer walking your way. With a bow.
Okay. So I'm gonna look up for those two, salute them, and then just flop backwards into the mud because I am exhausted.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
ended this fight with 3 hit points.
I'm gonna start running.
I just like.
I'm trying to keep pace with them.
Alright, you guys make it to AC and they flopped into the mud. Their hair is a mess. They're just caked in mud, fluid, and they smell faintly of pickle when you get up there.
You okay? I'm gonna like do a little like pop, real quick, like.
I'm so like flap my hair in there.
3 bludgeoning damage.
Oh. Unconscious.
I have fought those squirrels before, but I have never had the mispleasure of meeting one of those bears up close and personal, and I don't want to do that again.
You know what? That's fair.
And it is at this point that you realize, like, an entire chunk has been taken out of my side by the fail paw. Like, there's a chunk out of there, because I think at one point I took, like, 12 damage from a single hit.
I'm gonna take out some rags or anything I have and start wrapping the wound up. Can you do anything about this, Cord?
As you do that, I have forgotten to slow down and just skid through the mud past AC. As I do, I whip out my tail and smack her with it, lay on tail.
Pull him down into the mud next to me.
Lay on tail.
Lay on tail for... fuck it, 15 points.
Ooh, wow.
Nice.
That's good lay on tail. Alright.
Those many tails.
While you guys are doing this, Tap Tap has also started heading your way. And they look like they have like a couple of extra feathers that they've like crammed into their staff from the board, and they also look like they've tried to like take off its head, but it hasn't worked, and they're just like dragging the board's body behind them.
How big is this board in comparison to Tap Tap?
It's roughly the same size.
So it's slow
That
going.
is just a monster.
Yeah, and it's like Tap Tap gets up to you guys. They just like cock their head to one side and then to the other. They like look over you guys, and then they're just like, Tap Tap is leaving.
Leaving?
Why?
Tower
Yeah.
questions. I go home above pay grade, and they just kind of like shrug their shoulders up. I will be back later? Maybe. Gifts! And they like reach into their bag and they pull out 2 things. They
You know we're not getting paid much.
Okay,
That's why I leave.
I've sat up because I got laid on tail, so I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better.
Now, Tap Tap is going to hand Shalashar this necklace that looks like a little carved wooden bird head. And on the bottom of it, it says, "Have fun, don't die." And then
Good
to
message.
you, Cole, they like, it looks like this weird little like canister wrapped in paper with several holes in it, and they give it to you, and they go, "Screw, toy broke. Good luck."
Didn't want anything anyway.
Oh, Tap Tap, this is the first gift I've ever gotten.
They put their hand on you. Sorry,
Oh.
their wing, their little
They're
long
little
wing,
rat hands.
and they're just like, hopefully not last.
You.
And they go to leave, and then they turn back and they go, Tala send a message. And in Tala's exact voice, they go, "I think Ruldag is following you guys, but I did get back to town. The woman's safe, the children are safe. Am I still meeting you guys?" And then it goes back to Tap Tap's weird kind of scrambled words. "I didn't message. Not my problem. Goodbye." And they just walk back to Thornbluff, still dragging the body behind them.
I will never get used to that.
And then they stop, and they look at you, A-Rod, and they go, "Gifts!" And they point at the arrows in the board.
Well, alright, fair enough. Thank you, Tap Tap. I'll go try to recover whatever arrows I can.
It's easy enough. It's a board. It's not exactly super thick or super meaty. Looks like you've got it pretty much exactly
inspect them.
between the collarbones.
Still sharp, still good.
Yeah. That Tap Tap heads back to town. Just blood leaking out of this boat as they go, just in the grass. But it's
I'm
getting
gonna help
washed away,
AC.
so...
I'm gonna help AC out of the mud. Just like reach
Yeah.
out a hand.
I'm gonna like take your hand and pull myself up, get out of the mud with like this like squelching sticking sound.
Ugh.
Stay safe. Stay away from the giant.
A new shirt and like a new leather jerkin, because like
You're kind of
this
messed
is
up.
missing now. Like it's actually missing.
Yeah, I don't think you can sew that up.
Oh, I like
Well-
this shirt too. I mean, like, it's nice. It was nice. So it got
Let's-
blood stain and mud stain and
Let's see if we can find you something
Open.
fresh. There's gotta be something in town.
mm,
By the way, Cord, and I'll put a hand on him. Thank you.
I'm gonna put a hand around your other shoulder and like bring you into like a half hug. It would probably be a better hug if I wasn't like so tired. You are my favorite non-dragon dragon dude.
Agreed.
Sorry we couldn't get here sooner. We
Ah.
tried.
Whatever.
And
Tony, you know, I can take a couple. Not
you are also
Yeah.
right. We should have been patrolling with you guys instead of investigating the tower.
you know what, guys? I'm actually. I was gonna say this in the morning after like I had a rest and I wasn't feeling so tired, but I am a bit sorry about how I yelled at you all. That wasn't cool, you know. But like,
Okay.
when I
Used to it.
did, I learned with a cow pie that you don't stay up late at night making a lot of racket, because that pisses people off. And when I heard you guys making that noise, it just made me think, like, oh man, this is what those guys were thinking when I was up late making a bunch of noise when I was young. That's a dick move, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you guys like that.
Oh no, I think you were right. We weren't thinking, and you called us out on it, and that's a good thing.
I reluctantly
Even though
agree.
we continued to do it anyway.
Well, lessons learned.
Go get you cleaned up.
Hell, let's go to bed, and then like you tell me what you saw in the morning. I just want to lay down. It's been a long day, okay? First we had those weird like spider web shooting nut spider things and run into that, and then come into this town.
And a giant.
The giant. What's the giant this morning?
Yeah,
No,
it was.
yesterday.
Was it?
Yesterday. Yeah,
I don't know.
yesterday.
A lot has happened.
So much
Really
has
blends
happened.
together.
So much has happened. I need to sleep.
You guys go on ahead. I'm gonna go take care of the bodies. Gonna bring them back to town.
Oh, and I'm
I'll
gonna
help you.
like toss you my bag of pickling. Can you give me some eyes?
How many?
Whatever ones are good. Like I heard they're really good on toast, but I haven't tried it, so I feel we got eyes now, and I got a bag of pickling. Might as well.
All right. So
Give it I'll throw them out.
I'll start with the squirrels and then I'll make my way up to the bear. But I don't think it'll be appreciated if I rip the eyes from the people that you are with.
Definitely not the people, just the animals.
So just
And if the animals have any metal on them, get that too, because I can do something with that.
all right.
Because that stuff's kind of rare. If they have metal on them, like it's sometimes hard to get, mostly because you'll usually die. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed.
You guys can go on ahead.
I'll escort AC back to the house, get them cleaned up and to bed, and then I'll probably crash out myself.
Last time somebody said that to me, they were taller.
I tried to be taller, but it just didn't work out.
I mean, you
That's
may not be the tallest boy, but have you seen those guns?
True.
He's
yeah.
a big boy.
The most jacked little kobold. Alright.
He is my favorite.
So Assy and Cole, you two are heading back to town, and A-Rod, you said you want to help with the bodies, or you're going with Assy and them?
Nah, I'll help with the bodies.
Alright. So,
Before we go, I'm gonna stop and turn around. Hey, don't die.
Give him like 2 thumbs up.
I'll get a quick survival check from you, Shalashal. And A-Rod, when you say help with the bodies, are you just gonna help move them? Are you trying to like go over the bodies like Shalashal, or what exactly is your
I'm just gonna-
intentions of helping?
I think I'm gonna head towards the 2 human bodies and
Teabag 'em.
dig through them real quick, just kind of ruffle through their pockets.
Alright, I'll get an investigation.
And I got a 19 for 15 plus 4 for my survival.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy enough to get some eyes out. One of them, like, the first one you kind of rupture, and you're like, okay, I'll be a little bit more careful. But they are, like, surprisingly durable. Like, the first one you pop is just because you're not used to it. But then once you know the tolerance, you're like, shit, these things are pretty beefy. Yeah, okay. You are indeed able to get out the eyes from several of the squirrels and the bear eyes, so we'll give you a total of, we'll say, 8 eyes. Animal eyes.
Guys, and the bears are fairly.
There's only one bear eye. One of them got, like,
Now.
punctured by, well, I'm
Dwarf.
saying you probably popped one of the squirrel eyes, but yeah, Bismuth, when he was getting his hand shoot, and he, like, put the dagger in there. So, that's why it's 8, because Bismuth popped one, you popped another, that's what you got left. What'd you get for that investigation there, Evod?
16.
16, alright. So you make your way over to these bodies, Bismuth's not around, Shalasar is busy over there. You know, rogues will play. You start going through these bodies. There's several like arrows on them, so you could probably, if I'll tell you what there is, and you can decide what you want to take. But they
Okay.
are very identically kind of kitted. They have the exact same weird sort of oil skin poncho. They have a hip quiver with probably about 20 arrows on each of them for a total of 40. Both of them have a hand axe, and then both of them also have a coin purse with probably about 7 silver per, and then a handful or 2 of copper. And if you were to count it, you would probably get about 23 copper between the both of them. They have
Okay.
decent boots on them, decent pants, but their faces are rather messed out. One of them has a wedding ring, and one of them has a very nice kind of like copper chain necklace.
Okay. Well, I will take pretty much all that I can carry. Honestly, I'm gonna clean them out. I'll take one of the ponchos too, just to kind of. And the hip quiver and all the arrows.
Alright, so you're gonna take 40 arrows, you're gonna take an oil skin. I assume you're taking the 14 silver, the 23 copper. Are you taking the wedding ring or the necklace?
Yeah, I'll take them both too.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I'll start to. Hey, yeah, you don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. Maybe I find the person who this belongs to. Heart of
You're
gold
gonna
over here.
propose to him with your newfound ring?
Yeah, that's it. Heart of gold over here, me. I'm gonna start after I kind of
run in with them too.
Roll
after-
for the rogue.
I'm gonna drag the bodies down once I've kind of rifled through them. I mean, they won't need a lot of this anymore, so
So
yeah, I can spend the money better. It's all good.
So, Assy and Cole, as you guys are making your way back, Bismuth does come out, and it looks like he has another 2 people with him. They're dragging a sled behind them, and one of the people... It looks like it's 2 of the people that were out in the field with him, and then just another random person that was just out on the streets. And they're like fussing, trying to get this oil skin on as they like pass you guys. And Bismuth looks at you guys and goes, "Alright, have a good night then."
Yeah, we're gonna
Yes.
crash out.
Yeah, and you guys make your
Oh
way.
yeah! Bismuth! Tell everyone to stay out of the tower. Like, don't go in there.
I mean, there's runes on the floor. No one can get in there anyways.
Out of character, if I remember right, we left a rope to get back
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, he hasn't noticed it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I figured no one is stupid enough to go in there because there were runes on the floor on the main floor. Chances are there's shit on the second floor.
Well,
So,
why?
like,
Did you find something in there? Something I should be aware of?
Nothing good. Nothing good.
Nothing good. Are you still dealing with it in the morning? I'll stop by
In the
maybe
morning.
in the morning for you guys and get to talking then.
Yeah, I'd kind of really like to lay down. I don't know how you're still standing.
Well, someone's got to get the bodies out of the rain. Have a good night, boys. Come on, lads. And they
Other
keep
2 will
on
give you a
trekking.
hand.
All right, so you 2 are walking into town. Are you just going straight to bed, or is there any other things I gotta be aware of for you 2?
I'm gonna, once we get to the house, while we're still standing outside, I'm gonna strip off, like, all of my clothes, because I'm assuming it's all caked in mud and blood.
Yeah, especially because you flop down in it.
I turn around.
So I take off my clothes, and I'm left in just, like, a chest wrap that, like, keeps everything from moving around while I'm fighting.
I'm on the same page, yeah.
And, like, really basic undergarments. But they're high quality undergarments, like, this is the
High
one...
quality nipples, got it.
High quality. And I just throw my clothes over the fence or somewhere in the rain so then it gets washed a bit. Because I'm too tired to wash that right now.
Okay. Just leaving your stuff out in the rain.
Yeah.
Alright.
At least it's something. And then I go
Nature's washing
inside,
machine.
still wet. Like,
Just
dry
like-
myself off a little bit with a towel and lay down on a bed.
Well, when you guys get in there, you can see like Nikolai's woken up and it looks like he's built a fire. And it's just, in the fireplace. And,
And
as he
that-
sees you guys, he just like gives you a wave and he just goes, thought you might need to get warm. I'm going back to bed with the girls.
I do. Thank you so much. I love you right now in this moment. And just without wearing clothes, I'm gonna grab a blanket off of one of the beds, wrap it around my shoulders, sit down in front of the fireplace, and then just slowly lean until I'm laying down on my side, curled up on the floor and fall asleep.
Alright, and Cole, you're also just off to bed, eh?
No, I kept myself turned around while as he stripped down and went inside. And I figured they might not go to bed immediately, so I will clean their clothes and then bring him inside and lay all the clothes by the fireside to dry out.
Okay.
Then clean off my own armor and stuff before I crash.
Alright.
You're winning hearts, people.
I'll get back to you in a minute. Assie's already on bed, so I want to deal with these two, jump back to you, Cole, and then everyone can hopefully have their long rest at the same time. Fantastic. Meanwhile, out here in the woods, well, not the woods, out here in the fields before Thornbluff, as you are finishing looting, Bismuth shows up with his crew. And they start gathering the bodies. Do you guys want to say anything? You can. If not, they seem pretty set on just getting this work done. They're not really here to chit-chat, and everyone's just kind of putting their head down, piling the bodies onto this sled.
I'll probably just kind of keep my head down with them and just help them kind of get them ready and bring them back to town.
Right.
Yeah.
Bismuth does look at you, A-Rod, when he gets to those bodies and he sees they're looted. Just looks at you, looks at the bodies, shakes his head, and then he goes over to the bear, looks at it for a little bit, tries to move it, it's too heavy, and he just shakes his hand at it and heads towards the bodies closest to the woods. If you guys aren't saying anything, you'll just take a little bit of time to gather these up, probably about half an hour to get everything onto the thing, and then maybe another 20 minutes or so to get this cart into town with the bear's body left outside. But the squirrels will be taking it to the town.
How far is it from where we are to the town? To the closest gate?
I gave a measurement last time. I don't recall, but it did take a while. It wasn't an immediate journey. Probably will say 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Walking.
From what I saw in the town, does it look like they're hurting for food?
From what you saw, it would be, but you are aware that everything's been gathered in that warehouse that you haven't seen. But when you were brought food, even though, like you said, you haven't seen a lot, you guys were decently well fed.
Okay. If possible, I would like to take the bear back with me. That's free meat.
You can... What do you want to do? You just want to go up and try to roll it? This is a heavy bear.
Those look so good.
Yep. I don't need to sleep much, so I got all night.
Alright, so you walk up and...
Probably before Bismuth leaves.
So as you guys are just finishing gathering up the bodies here, and you're by the bear, bodies piled onto this sled.
Are we leaving this out here? Isn't this basically free meat? Do you have a butcher in town?
I mean, you're basically kind of looking at him, but
I noticed her hand.
rather quite heavy. I figured if I can't move it, and I'd rather not move it in this, and he looks at the pouring rain, we'll come back in the morning, get it then.
You go on ahead, I'll bring it into town for you.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna move it, why don't you, starts patting himself down and he pulls out one of the hand axes that everyone has. You know how to butcher?
Not my specialty, but, I'm pretty content I'll just pull it into town.
He, just turns to the side and he, whistles and one of the guys comes up. He goes, you and the lads, take this inside. Squirrels to the warehouse, I'll deal with that. The rest of them, take them to the back and we'll hopefully get them dug in the morning. I'll help this one out here. Butcher it up. Maybe come back with the sled if you feel so inclined, eh? The guy just kind of like nods to him and goes, yeah, you got it, Bismuth. Alright. Off with you. And he looks towards you again and goes, alright, I'll show you how to butcher this thing. And when I say butcher, I mean take it apart. I don't mean butcher the job, alright? We're going to do a job, but it ain't going to be a hack job, so I suggest you pay attention. You look here. Not up, down, I'm short. Pay attention.
I've been alive a long time. I'm fairly.
It's not talking time. Help me roll this over. Or that he kind of takes you through the process of gutting this thing and all of that. It's going to be a while, but he's going to make sure the job is done right. A-Rod, you can accompany this thing if you want, but you are going to be heading back to town, so you want to stay out here. You can let me know what you want to do, and if not, I'll just narrate you getting home.
Yeah, I'll probably just head home anyway. Time to get a rest in.
Sounds like a plan to me. So, before you get home, I want to just quickly jump back to Cole. Cole, as you come in, Assy has now fallen asleep at the fireplace. Nice and bunched up. With your passive perception, you also notice that while this fire was set up, it maybe wasn't just set up for you guys, as it looks like there's also a little writing desk that's been set up by the fire. And it looks like there's a piece of paper out there, a stack of envelopes, and still like another piece of paper that looks like it's been left out to dry. If you want to look at that, or you can just go on to bed. Up to you.
Well, I think I kind of have to look at it, but I'm gonna lay out the clothes to dry first, and then I'll take a peek at the papers.
Okay. Do you just want to take a peek, or do you want to actually like full on read it?
I'll read what's out.
Alright, so what's out? The first line is it's just unaddressed. And it looks like there's probably about 4 envelopes here that are already sealed. And there's also a thing of wax next to this, as well as a sealer that's been left out. But the heading on this one, it's addressed to a name you don't recognize. I'll give you the general gist. If you want more information, I will clarify and I'll even read it for you if you so desire. But looking over this, it's addressed to a character you haven't heard of. And it's mentioning on his arrival. From what you can glean from this, it seems like Nikolai is just getting a bunch of affairs in order, and this seems to be some sort of dispatch requesting a list of materials. There's shovels on this, there's maps on this, there's just a very large list, and it also looks like it has a date attached. But you have no idea when this 27/6 is supposed to be, as you've not really been around long enough to figure out even what today is. The name on this envelope, if you care. I have it. I swear. I'm not lying to you. Zilimir is
How
the
do you
name.
spell that?
Zillimire. Sounds like this guy, from your understanding, either works in a construction company or has access to these things. There's no mention of paying anything. That pretty much just reads, Zilimir, I will be arriving shortly. I'm hoping to get this envelope to you upon my arrival. I would like these supplies ready for my arrival in Milskar. Is kind of the general gist of this letter. And besides that, A-Rod, you probably show up in a bit. Let me quickly see what code does. I got ahead of myself. I'm excited to get this going. I'm excitable. So with that, anything else I should know, Cole? Or what's the
I think we got everything from the letter. Is that the only thing out that's readable? Because I'm
Yeah,
not going to open up.
you can
I'm
check
not
the
gonna
other
open up
letters if
the,
you want.
I'm not going to open up the sealed ones.
Alright, besides that, it's just a sleeping Assy who somehow has managed to keep this wrapped around them in their slumber by this fire.
Okay, I'm gonna dry out my armor. Shove a pillow underneath Assy's head and then crash out myself.
Sounds
I'm
like
only gonna nap for about an hour or so, then wake up and go into a trance.
Hard nap for a little bit and then elven trance.
Yep.
Dwelvish and 12 hours following. Thank you, I do appreciate it. Anyways, at this point, A-Rod, you also arrive back. Everyone seems to be sleeping. There's a bunch of clothes laid out in front of the fire. There's a sleeping Assy with a pillow. Cole, I am imagining you made it to an actual bed, unless you want to also be directly by the fire.
Bed is
Please.
preferable.
Please tell me that Core
is
curls up like a puppy or like
Oh,
a
yeah.
lizard, just like in a little circle, little
Little
scaly
circle.
lizard.
Every single
A
time.
little spoon.
Alright, so
Aw.
A-Rod, as you arrive, door opens and it's just decently well lit thanks to the fireplace, and just AC who's like, looks like they were sleeping, but now they just instead kind of like tuck this pillow underneath themselves. They're holding this thing around them, and their eyes are just like white, and you can tell that they're deep into their little dwelfish trance.
Anyone else awake?
From what you can hear, someone's snoring. You don't know who it is, and seems like everyone's asleep or in a trance. The house is very quiet, and you can hear the crackling of a log breaking apart.
I will also go over by that desk then and see what's up.
Right, you see the same thing, letter addressed
Yeah.
to Zilamir. You got the wax, you got the thing, and about 4 other letters.
They're sealed though?
Yep.
Well, okay, could I try to unseal one of them?
You could, and the
Like,
wax
quiet-
and the
Right.
sealer are next to it. So if you
What I
do
noticed,
break it,
considering I am right there and in a trance,
I'll let you roll perception with disadvantage.
I think that technically I don't get disadvantage because
Yeah, but you're a dwelf, and
Yeah, I'm a dwelf.
I feel like you have a 9 passive, and now you're sleeping and tired. So, you know, I'll let you roll, but it will be with disadvantage because I'm mean.
that's a dirty one.
I think the dice gods have decided. A-Rod, you're
I also
alone,
I also have a 19.
and these letters are.
I rolled a 2, and I
the-
got a minus. And somebody is yelling for me, so I'm just gonna stay there in my trance.
Alright. These letters are at your mercy. Do with them as you will.
Alright, I'm gonna try to open at least one of them. Should I roll like a sleight of hand or something to
That-
see? Like I'm.
Tell you what, why
I'm
don't you
trying to-
describe to me how you want to open them, and I'll tell you what you can or can't roll.
Okay. I basically want to take my dagger and just slide it right under that wax seal ever so gently, just to break it a little bit. Just enough that I can kind of pop it but keep the seal intact, you know what I mean?
Sleight of hand is definitely the roll for this.
I got a plus
The
6.
rest of the world's here.
18?
18, yeah, you slide it in, and you get it just right, and you don't even crack the seal as you, like, put pretty much the entire length of the knife under it, and you more or less lift the seal, and it's just a nice little pop.
Perfect. Yeah, let's see what's in there.
Alright, so you pull it out, open it. This letter looks like it's addressed to someone by the name of Talarina. And it
Okay.
roughly reads, it's hard to kind of place the meaning. Do you want me to tell you the gist of it, or do you want me to tell you what it actually says?
The gist is fine.
Alright. Reading over it, it sounds like Nikolai is writing on behalf of his father, and what he's kind of asking is what exactly is going on. And it reads as, I haven't been in Black Hollow for a little bit. I'm aware that something happened, and My father hasn't been able to fill anything out. I'm hoping that you can tell me what's going on and get back to me. I'll be in Black Hollow. Send a runner, send a message, whatever it is. Just please explain to me what is going on in Black Hollow. And roll an insight check.
It's a 16 on the die for 19.
It's weird. This person that he's writing to, it sounds like they have some sort of power. He's asking them to do something. They have to have some sort of connections, but there's no titles mentioned. It reads very formal. There's some sort of relationship here between them, and there's something more to this connection, but you're not quite sure what it is.
Okay. I'll call it there after the one. I'll just gently place the seal back and just let it be.
Alright. Roll me another sleight of hand.
Ooh. 15?
15? It should stick. You close it, crimp it down a little bit. Doesn't look like it's too messed up. Give it a little tug, and seems like the seal has reset.
Perfect. Alright then, yeah, I'm just gonna find a nice quiet corner, take off all my wet gear, set it up to dry, and trance out in the corner somewhere.
Alright, so you also go, you have your little trance, and then the last person to arrive, your thing in butchering, Bismuth is very quick in his instructions. He doesn't seem like he wants to talk, and you kind of get the feeling he's a little like, he wants to be pissed at you, but he has agreed to do this, so he's just like, alright, let's get this through. And he takes you through gutting this thing. Someone eventually comes back with the cart. You guys chop this bear up as best as you can, and you get back into the town. As you're walking there, Bismuth's like, well, you did good out there. Appreciate you fixing my hand too. But why don't you get on off the bed? And I'll deal with this, we'll deal with the bodies. You can just get on to it.
I'm not super tired. I'm lucky that Elven Heritage don't require a lot of sleep, so if you do need a hand, I'm available. Otherwise, you know where to find us.
What kind of hand do you offer? And I'm gonna butcher the rest of the squirrels. We're gonna do a little bit of looking over a couple things here and there. Nothing too crazy. And then we're gonna get to bed. But you know, you got any skill stuff? Anything I should be aware of?
Are you familiar with Yund at all?
No. I've heard about it. That's the place across the sea to the south.
Basically, I grew up in a small fishing village. We had a lot of ruins, that sort of thing. So I spent a lot of my time surviving in the desert, looking at old artifacts, appraising things. So I have quite a few like survival skills. Anything than that, I'm pretty good with my hands, pretty strong if you need just an extra pair of hands.
Well, I mean, not to jump to conclusions here, but that sounds like you're pretty good with magic then, if you're from Yun.
If I have some experience, yes. Depending on what you need.
Pointing back towards the first thing that I had questions about, tower.
Mm-hmm.
Can you deal with that?
Can I roll insight?
Why don't you tell me what you're looking for, so then I can kind of understand, otherwise I can't answer this question even if you do roll high.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to gauge what his, if I could discern any sort of reasoning for the tower, like if he just wanted to loot the place and he just want like money hungry, or if it was a safety consideration and he's genuinely worried about his citizens. I kind of want to gauge why he wants
his
to
interest
deal
in
with
the tower. Yeah, right. Roll an insight.
It's less than I want, but so it's a 10 on the die. plus proficiency, so that's a 14.
14. You look at this dwarf, you know, he's a very rough figure. From what you can tell looking at him, he's definitely interested in the tower, and he brings it up in a very kind of straightforward way. But when he asks you, you don't really see like a lot of intent. You get the idea that he's mostly just trying to move forward. He hasn't gotten as far as what's going to happen with the tower, how he wants you to deal with it. It's something, he doesn't know what to do with it. You're magic, it's magic, and he's just trying to connect it as best as you can tell. You can't really get a feel if his intentions are to loot it, if he wants it gone with. He's probably looking at you mostly for those answers in this moment.
Okay. There's...
My dog.
What a mouthy boy.
Can you guys come to my end?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of difficulty with it. I don't know... I don't understand much of the situation. I did find a journal. It seems that
too loud.
we managed to get inside, but there are a lot of magical glyphs, that sort of thing. So we had to very carefully deal with the situation. There's actually
So it's dealt with.
No. There's the wizard who lived there. He actually had someone there protecting his things. It's a summoned creature of sorts, and it's still alive. It's still protecting the tower because he was told just protect the tower and wait for his contract to be up.
I'll tell you what. This is getting a little long for me. I already told Erod I'll be around in the morning. So how about I go to bed after I deal with these. I'll come back in the morning, and then you guys can tell me what your plans are for dealing with that.
There's one thing that I'm not entirely certain about the outcome, but in his journal it had mentioned a crystal at the top of the tower that, if turned off, shall we say, that it would get rid of all the magic in the tower, make it perfectly fine for use. I don't know if you wanted to get access to the books, I don't know what your intent is, but the only downside is it might release a creature, or the creature might be banished. So we could probably try and rid you of the creature, but you have to be aware that it might... I don't think he's evil per se, he's just very weird after being alone for a better part of 30 years.
Okay. I'll stick with my original plan of I'll see you in the morning, and you can tell me how you're going to deal with it. Ciao! With that, he turns on his heels and he starts walking. Then he, turns back towards you and goes, as for your offer to help, feel free to watch the gate.
No.
Besides that, tuck yourself in, have a good night, but maybe keep it down. It's been a long night. And he heads towards the warehouse.
I think with that, I'll probably just make my way over back to where we're staying. I'll probably check if there's any guards that need to be relieved at the gate, just let them kind of do their thing before I go to bed.
Yeah, it's just one guy in an oil skin. Looks like he has a crossbow underneath it.
I'll approach him. Hey, you doing all right? When's the last time you got something to eat?
You think he's asleep. He doesn't even look up.
Is he just sitting there?
Yeah, he's just sitting on a chair. Rain pelting on him. He has his head down. You can see a little bit of his... So he has a very large kind of hooked nose just sticking out that's getting wet. Just the tip.
I'll approach and I'll just kind of like kneel down, probably like 2 feet from him, and reach my hand out and I'll tap his knee.
Oh.
Not enough.
No, I was resting my eyes. Helps me hear better.
Alright. Really connecting with nature, I understand. I was about to head in for the night, and just wanted to check if you're alright out here. Did you need to go get something to eat?
Town's closed. I'll have to ask if you're allowed in.
I've already dealt with Bismuth.
Oh. Well, in that case, you can head on inside. I'll watch the gate.
What are you eating?
Alright. Enjoy,
His eyes are already closed again.
I'm sorry, it's his feet and eat shit.
Okay. Then I'll probably just turn around and head it back inside.
Okay. Alright, you get inside. Very quiet. Someone's faintly snoring. A couple of people in this house with some white-ass eyes. Almost like they're like rolled back.
Prancing the fuck out.
That you're just going to bed? Or are you doing shy things?
What I usually do. Just
Shy
Trance.
things it is.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, gosh.
With that, all of you guys are able to finish leveling up then. Get your spell slots back. For healing, it will just be using one. You can use your hit dice if you want to heal.
I thought you said that if we rest somewhere inside that we wouldn't have to...
Someplace safe.
Well, this is technically safe, isn't it not?
Well,
You're in a
Okay.
town that's been attacked every single night. Not a lot of guards, and you know for a fact the guard outside is sleeping
No,
at
no,
the front door.
he's not sleeping. He's resting his eyes.
So I'm glad you feel
I just
safe. But the realities...
He's just resting his eyes.
Bongo, I grabbed it.
So we need to roll our hit die.
Yeah, you can roll all of your hit dice. So
Yeah,
the way
I'm
it
gonna
works is you have hit dice for each level. So you're basically rolling as you do for your maximum hit points when you level, but you're not adding your con mods. At least
So
maybe you
we
do
don't
add it.
just get our hit points back when we sleep.
Depends how well you roll. Because
And,
I am an evil bastard. Whilst you rest on a short rest, then a long rest, some of them, when you finish a long rest, you gain a number of hit points up to half your maximum hit dice. So you can roll half your maximum hit dice to regain.
Oh, half of our maximum? Is it?
Half of your maximum hit dice. I just looked it up.
Where are you getting these
Oh.
rolls from?
The Weary Traveler rules.
Oh, right. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you guys agreed to this, and I said I was going to make it difficult. So,
Okay,
being
so
difficult.
use half.
Before I go to
I did
bed,
get an 8.
Alright, well, you guys figure this out. I'll quickly open my window because I am sweating to death.
Okay. It's not ready. 7, 10. Alright, not bad.
Ooh.
I'm actually gonna do the same thing.
And he did say we can use half.
Tweety
Right.
upgraded as well.
Before I go to bed,
Yep.
you said that there are some spells in the journal.
What the fuck was that?
It's Andre. He saw something funny.
Can you please punch him for me?
Yes, there are a couple of spells in the book. 2 spells in particular.
Can I figure out, like, I can read magic, I can read spells.
Yep.
Can I
They're
can I see?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I figure out what they are or transfer them?
They are clearly labeled.
Yep.
You can roll an arcane check if you want to transfer them, but first I will give you the names, and then you can decide if you want to bother or not.
Oh, are you a wizard? I thought you were a
But
cleric.
transferring them does not mean they're magical in nature. It just means you've, like, moved over, you know, what
Yeah,
they are more than anything else. The components
Yeah, I mean-
and stuff, whether or not you're able to do it, depends on the arcane check.
Yeah. So it just depends. Like, I I still think for the sake of it, I'd like to transfer them over regardless. And that way, I can either sell them to like a wizard if they're wizard spells, that sort of thing. At least we have them.
Roll an arcane check for me.
Joke's on you. Okay. 17 plus 1.
17 plus 1. So, you're understanding that when a wizard is transferring a spell from one thing to another, the reason it costs money, and this is important for you as well, Assy, since you're going to bring it up, it implies that at the time that the wizard is using to master the spell, casting the spell, using the components. So you can copy it word for word relatively easily. What matters is your accuracy of it, and then if you want to be able to cast a spell later, it does require practice, right? It's the same as like just having an engineering book and just copying it over doesn't mean you remember it. So he's allowed to copy it, but he hasn't learned it. Does that make
I was
sense?
just wondering if he decided to multi-class into wizard.
That's why I'm addressing it for you. The way it's written in the book is it says the money cost is represented in the time it takes mastering the spell, learning the spell, the material components involved, yada yada yada. But it is free for him to just copy it and not remember it. Fair enough?
No, when he said that he was transferring them, I'm like, are you transferring them to a spell book? Do we have a wizard?
No, sadly, the wizard left. So
Yeah, that's what I'm like, multi-class? You need a wizard pass?
the spells inside of this book, there was a scroll of summon critter, and in the book, it's actually kind of like the memoirs of Obald. Within the section of him talking about his time with a smuggler, there's the book of Bolance's comfy tent, as well as another spell called Dancing Shoes. Both of which you can find in the spells, all three of which you can find in the
Special
cool
content
stuff, do
stuff.
not steal. Yes, the extra content that I've written.
So Bolance's comfy tent, summon critter.
Yeah, Summon Critter is a scroll. It's a spell scroll.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
fine.
just tucked into this journal, so it's a loose page that you can do whatever you want with.
Okay, and then what were
Dancing
the
Shoes.
dancing shoes?
I will be 1 second. I'm grabbing some more water quickly.
Okay, I will check those out and tentatively transfer them over if it's possible. Otherwise, just sell shard things.
May you're one more
Bedtime.
behind.
Share things. Right. So besides that, all of you will wake up, hopefully well rested. That depends on how well you roll your hit dice. But the next morning does come. The first people to wake up would probably be the Dwelf, the Elf, and Shalashar. Besides that, your human companions, they seem quite content sleeping. But Nikolai does actually wake up relatively early. And the first thing he does is he tends to his letters, puts the last one in an envelope, seals it, tucks his little wax thing away, and starts cleaning up his little workspace. And
Would I wake up before him?
you'd probably wake up at roughly the same time. At the very least, now that you're no longer tired, you would wake up when you hear the sound of him, like, ruffling his envelopes and stuff like that. And if any of you want to jump in, feel free.
Yeah.
I think we would be getting up like 4 hours earlier than everybody else.
Yeah, except he's been asleep this entire time. Well, you guys decided to mess with the tower, fight the bears and stuff. He's like, yeah, I want to bed.
Fail.
I'll just give a stretch and be like, oh, who you writing there?
It's a couple of people. Some of these are going to my father, and others are just going to other people. Getting my affairs in order before we arrive in Milskar. Since
Smart,
my father
smart.
asked for me, he probably is going to be dragging me into a couple of meetings, and just want things to go smoothly.
Probably best to deal with that now. On the subject of dealing with things now, how would you like to help me with some morning errands I want to do? And I'm going to turn towards my lovely roguish friend and smile at you, all in trouble.
I'll give you the same look, same smile.
Now first, I'm going to reach I'm gonna reach to the side and I'm gonna pull out of thin air a jar of dough. I'm gonna reach into another area. Wait, no, do I have that? I think I'm mixing about. No, I'm thinking about something else. I'm gonna pick out a box with a bunch of tea mixes. Now, I don't have my bag of pickling yet. I don't know what Salashar put it down, but
Shalashar's in the corner huffing it.
I want to go and see if I can get new armor, and then I want to go visit our elven friend and bring him an offering.
Well, I'm with you. You know that.
Wonderful.
I'll just hop up all spryly, start to don my armor and stuff back. Hopefully it dried out overnight. Kind of try to clean my hair out a little bit. Probably got some mud in there. And get ready to go.
Yeah.
I actually would like to stop and talk to Bismuth, if that's not too much trouble at some point today while we're...
I'm going to come back in the morning.
Perfect. Well, I'd like it to be a bit of a private-ish conversation.
Oh, well then we can talk to him when we go and look for some armor for me, because everything is in that warehouse he's taken over.
Sounds like a plan.
So I'm going to reach into side space, and I'm going to pull out my set of common clothes instead of the traveling clothes I've been wearing.
Okay.
And I get dressed in that. I pick up my traveling shirt, and I look at it wistfully, and realize it's pretty much wrecked. There isn't a lot to salvage there, is there?
It's seen better days, but I mean, with enough TLC in time, it won't look the same, but you could probably put some patches on it.
I guess it won't be seen by that stuff. I'll tuck it away. Maybe I'll fix it, maybe I won't. Who knows?
At the very least, it could be used for bandages later.
Yeah, at the very least it could be used for So I took that away, and I took my pants away, and I noticed that they were fixed. They were cleaned up, and I appreciate it. So I write a note, and I just say, thanks for washing my clothes, with like a little heart. And I sign it, Pierre. And I just set it down. Next, I'm going to assume it was Cole, because like he was the one that came back with me.
Cole, you awake or no?
No, not yet.
Alright.
Too early still.
I set the little note down next to him. Okay, let's go.
Do it.
Alright. Shalashal, this early morning, as you can see your elven companions kind of gathering this stuff, you hear a voice in your head. It sounds quite exasperated. It's a very familiar voice as you hear Tala. Kaya, out! That's exactly what she says. Go on, come here. Sorry, Kaya's being a dork. What you hear in your head is it's Tala. She's found very exasperated and she just goes, your board still hasn't gotten back to me. I need to know if I'm meeting you in Millskull or Thornbluff or what I'm doing. 25 words, make it fast.
Tap Tap went home.
What?
You can meet us in Thornbluff. We'll be here.
Right? You think these words, you don't know if it worked or not. There's no response.
Why would you not want the upper?
And then
Is AC kicking around?
you can see AC's currently like putting on their clothes, getting everything ready, and I assume so is A-Rod, unless you guys are being super quick to get out the door.
No, I'm taking my time.
Alright. You can see Shalashal. He hasn't taken off his armor. Did you dry yourself at all, or you just like...
Nope, just went for trance.
Alright, there's just like this puddle of water underneath his armor, and you're like, you know, he's just kind of staring at you guys behind his black mask.
Must get stuffy in there.
Wait, you just like say something to us out of nowhere?
I'm 2 and 5. I don't think I am.
I mean,
No, it's-
A-Rod just said, is it stuffy?
It's fine. I was playing like trap with him. Apparently 5 kills.
I'm gonna try. I don't know. Why don't you ask him? But I think he's sleeping. Maybe trans.
Right here.
I'm gonna like kind of walk up and just like,
Can I help you?
oh, holy shit. Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, you were asleep. So I mean, maybe not like asleep, but I didn't think you were like conscious.
I'm pretty aware of my surroundings.
Good God, man.
Even sleep.
As much as needed.
Wow. Thanks for not answering the question.
I'm an elf, aren't I? You should know.
I did not think you were an elf for a second, so
We've talked about this.
Yeah, bomb.
you don't. I don't know. You don't seem like any elf I've ever met.
Have you ever been to Yun? Have you ever visited Dry Rock?
Okay,
Fine.
fair.
There you go. We desert elves are a weird bunch.
Clearly. Don't mind staying in wet armor all night.
Once you've had sand bounce around your insides, the sandstorms in Yun get mean.
Wait,
A little bit
is
of water is nothing.
just undead? Like I was told that there were only like zombies and vampires and liches there.
If you're in the main city, I'm from a small village that dealt predominantly with. We had a lot of archaeological areas around my town. Went for a lot of ruin dives. Is a bit of a tourist hotspot. So we had a little bit of everything.
You don't say.
Well,
Wait,
you're not in the desert now. Why don't you, take off your mask at least? Isn't it looks
I
like
don't
you're
know.
stuffy.
Not really. It's a little weird. I just never. Once you deal with dragons flying over in Yun and you see a lot of things, you just get used to wearing your armor. After a while, it's not so bad. And after more than 300 years, you just kind of become accustomed to it.
Okay, well, we're heading out. I need to get new armor now since mine kind of got,
Shredded.
shredded. Yeah, along with my innards. So,
Here, by the way, and I'll just reach into the blackness and just pull out your pickle bag.
I was just about to ask for that. Thank you very much. How many
I
eyes?
managed to get
Yeah.
8 of them.
8? Ooh, 10 eyes.
One of
Eat
the
good
squirrel's
night.
eyes had exploded. And then, well, you saw what Bismuth did to the bear.
Oh, I was right there. Did you know, like, he was stabbing that thing while it was on top of him and eating his armor?
I mean, he's a meaty boy. He's a
Yeah.
force of nature.
That is good old Bismuth for you.
Never considered dating with wolves before, but I can definitely see why my dad picked one.
And I've tasted a lot of shit. Yes, I said that.
Kind of on the subject. Actually, not on the subject at all. Bismuth is curious what we're doing with the tower.
Oh my.
I think I have a way to get to the top of the tower and interact with the crystal, turn it off.
Well,
The wizard's notes are all in here, and it says that if we deactivate the crystal, the magic disappears.
okay. I'm a little bit trained with magic. If we want to do this, I can help you, but let's wait until Cole wakes up. Actually, let's be able to sleep in it. He looks kind of tired.
I mean,
We'll talk about this in the morning, in a couple of hours when I get back. Because I want to go pick up my armor, and then he'll be here, and we'll figure it out then.
Alright. I just figured, since Jitch was kind of blocking our way, I do have an...
I don't know what any of this is. You guys will have to catch me up. Oh, you know what? While we're going out, grabbing my armor and grabbing some stuff to eat for breakfast, A-Rod can catch me up on everything you guys saw. Yeah.
I'll fill you in.
I'll just stay here.
Yeah. It's a mess. I don't know if you did.
This is one of the maps.
At this
Oh my
point,
God.
Nikolai kind of clears his throat and he goes, Actually, I should ask, are we staying here or are we going? Because I do kind of need to get to Milskar sometime soon.
Tala just messaged me. I heard her voice in my head. She asked where she's meeting us, and I said that we'd just be here. I mean, probably take one more day to rest, get our bearings, get whatever food we can.
Did you tell her about the Edo caps?
No.
So she's just going to...
I had 25 words to talk to her.
Like, it was only a matter of time.
Okay, well, I mean, she's a big girl. She can handle herself, right?
I think she exists purely out of spite at some point. So, I would not want to come across her in a dark alley.
Same.
Okay, so we'll waste about 3 days here then, or 2 days here, and then we'll be on our way.
Yep.
If my father does end up sending more people, as we have been told I'm being looked for, hopefully he'll be understanding and he'll let me stay, or if not, I might end up leaving with an escort, in which case I'll just see you guys whenever you guys make it to Milskar.
If you don't want to go with them, we won't let them.
You have to understand that with my last name, there are certain obligations.
But you're also a person first.
A portion with duty.
And our duty is to guard you and the girls. If they can't respect the fact that we're on a job, and we traveled this long, and we need to recuperate, that's their problem.
Oh, you guys are not going to get along with my father.
Probably not, but
Yeah.
I don't get along with most parents.
Okay, well, I'll be here, and I'll maybe try to get some food or something rustled up while you guys do your running around.
Like I said, I'll be picking up some food when we go down to give me some more ammo.
Alright, well, don't burn the place down.
I have never burnt any building down.
Neither.
It's actually quite a thrill.
Never mind.
It's on my list.
Should we wake Cole up?
Now let him sleep.
I'll be waiting here, so I'll let him know what's happening.
I only had a 4-hour trance. He's only halfway through sleeping. Let him sleep.
Did you ever surf?
Yeah. I'll let him know what's happening when he gets up. Should we
Appreciate
meet
it.
you by the tower around midday? What
We'll
do you
be
think?
coming back in just a couple of hours, okay? Let's go. I need to get some armor. And I don't know what any other weird monsters are gonna be showing up in this town when you guys are gonna find some other tower to explode. So
Sounds like a plan.
let's get out of here.
And I'll head out the door.
Stand around with my boots on for 10 minutes.
Okay. So you guys gather your stuff and you head out, and where are you going first?
We're gonna go to the warehouse. Because I need to find some armor that I can buy or steal or both.
Alright, so you
There
head
are
off.
some fresh bodies that you might be able to loot.
Right here.
They don't need their armor, they're being buried.
Yeah? So, go there and see what they have for leather armor.
Alright, well, you get there, and it's, again, 2 people outside. They have their things on. As you open the door to the wide open world, the ground is mud. You can see specifically where Shalashar came in last night. His heavy, clunky form, due to his armor, leaving really deep trenches in the mud. Everything is still mud. Wherever you guys went, it's just been turned up and the ground looks destroyed. But the rain has stopped and the sun is starting to vaguely come up. You guys woke up very early. It's still the early little bit of dawn. The sky itself is shades of purple, very off in the distance, you can see a little bit of urns with a reddish glow starting to like greet. One of the most interesting things with this sort of light, with it still being dark, you can look up and you can see red runes in the sky. And these runes have always been part of Internium's skylight. Once in a while, you see something kind of hit these things, and there's just these red sparks that kind of fly across the sky. You only ever really see these at dawn or at dusk, and specifically on clear days during the night. And it's just one of those special things about waking up this early as you guys come out into here.
Yeah.
That you make your way towards the warehouse. Your boots and your pants are going to be muddy. You know that already heading out into this. And as you make it to the warehouse, there's 2 people there. Same oil skin, same outfit. Hand axes tucked in as you guys approach. One
While
of
we're
them,
walking, I'm gonna like slow for a minute when we first leave the building. I'm gonna just look it up at the sky. It is always so gorgeous this early in the morning.
Yeah, speak for yourself. I'm gonna be like kicking mud off of my boots and stuff.
Come on, you don't enjoy looking at the ruins?
I've seen ruins before, I gotta tell you, unless there's something shiny in it, it doesn't really do it for me.
It's magic in the sky, though. Don't you ever wonder why they're there?
It's a bit above my pay grade.
Everything is a bit above your pay grade.
Oh, come
If you
on.
don't have a pay grade.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm still just like trying to get as little mud in my boots as possible.
You
Just
know,
very unpleased.
Higher boots like me, you wouldn't have this big of a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we find a pair somewhere today. Who knows?
And then tuck your pants into your boots and you'll never get anything in your boots.
Yep, already on it. And start sticking my pants in as I'm trying to still like hobble along walking.
Well, now you're tucking mud into your boots.
It's a little late for that. That ship has sailed.
Gonna have to rewash your boots tonight.
Meh. And yeah.
I think Cole polished all of the buckles on my clothes too. I mean, like, look at how shiny they are.
That guy, he is great, isn't he?
Chaotic
no longer
good.
shiny. They're just muddy.
He's pretty awesome.
Like him. You know, at first I wasn't too sure about him, but he's growing on me. He's growing on me.
Nope.
Well,
So,
you
so,
ma-
well, I
Yeah,
don't know what to make of that one.
I can't make heads or tails of him.
No one can.
That's
Doesn't-
not very nice of you.
Doesn't act like any elf I've ever heard of, that's for sure. Ever seen him take off his
Do not
armor?
Take off that mask of his. I'm starting to
Ever?
like got a weird deformity. Like maybe he had
Maybe.
2 noses or something. Oh, I saw this one person one time who had a lip like a rabbit.
You don't say.
Was it a
Maybe
rabbit?
how does he eat? Have you ever
I don't
seen
know.
him eat?
Have I
Salisha,
seen
you're like right behind them, right? During this conversation.
No, we're outside already. We're walking to the warehouse.
I thought he was going with you. Were you, Salisha?
No, I was staying at the.
Got
I was
it.
staying
Okay.
to.
Same page, thank you.
No, we wouldn't be saying this if he was coming with
Yeah,
us.
no way.
I want to put it past you guys to try to rib him a little bit. But as you
right.
guys are talking shit safely away from prying ears, you approach this warehouse. They're just like watching as you approach. They're kind of like talking. They see you guys are still coming. They look at each other, they talk a little bit more, and then one of them finally kind of like rolls his head and like walks towards you guys to like meet you a little bit and goes, can I help you? What's exactly? Hello?
Just
Well,
checking in. Seeing if they got any extra supplies laying around. I need to talk to Bismuth, you know.
I'm gonna reach over my shoulder and like whip forward and like pull out my leather jerkin. This happened to me last night. I need to replace it and a shirt. And it's like blood stained with like a chunk taken out of the waist.
I mean, like, I understand that, but we were told no one can really get in, unless Bismuth says you can, or you have, like, you know, you came here last time and you had to ask, right? And then we had to do the thing. And I understand you help, but like, I don't even want to get in trouble.
No, hey, buddy, come here. I'm gonna put my arm around him. Like, listen. No one really. It's just a quick conversation, just poking our head in, looking for some basic stuff. There's really no reason to get worked up over all this. You guys are doing a bang up job. I mean, we're just in there for a second. I gotta talk to them,
Well,
you
I
know.
was told if you came back, it might be to return the arrows and the oil skin.
Oh, is that what you arrows? I have no idea what you're talking. I would never.
Yeah,
Me, come on.
That was mentioned.
Fucking Bismuth under my breath. God damn it.
So
No, don't. No. We just want to go in. We just want to go in real quick, bud. Real quick. Can I roll a persuasion on this guy?
yeah, you can.
I'm giving you a look like, the fuck did you do last night when I was
14 on the die.
You can see he's the way the oil skin.
18.
14.
No, 18. It was a 14 on the die.
I don't know. I mean, will you talk to Bismuth afterwards?
I intend to talk to him. He's coming by to see us. That's why we want to pick up some stuff,
Yeah.
some food as well, so we have some breakfast when he comes to visit and talk about the tower.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, you won't be alone in there. The other guy's here still, so. Okay, fine.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Thank
He
you.
lets you in, and so again, it's a very decently organized thing. You know, several nice little neat piles and rows, kind of like lining this. And then there's again that same desk at the very back, and there's a man there. Looks like he has several lists and stuff, and just stacks of paper all over his desk. And he just kind of like looks up at you guys, looks at the guard. He gives him like one of this, and the guard just gives him like a thumbs up and closes the door. And it's just like definitely quiet in this place. This guy, you can tell he's watching you as you come into this.
Okay, I'm gonna go wait for him. And like hop up there so I'm sitting on the table.
You like go to and like it's covered in paper. You're going to like knock something over if you do that.
Okay, I think better of it then.
Okay.
So instead I lean against it.
Okay.
So, I need a little bit of a hand with something, and I whip out from nowhere my ripped jerkin. I need a replacement for this. Just simple leather armor. I'll pay for it, of course. And food for how many people do we expect to have for breakfast, A-Rod?
Oh man, I don't know. Let's see, including the girls. Him. I don't know. Let's say 6. Let's call it 6 or 8. Does Salashar eat? I don't know if he eats.
I don't know. Let's say food for 10 people, and if we have leftovers, then we'll eat it at some point. I'm sure. I will pay you for all of this, of course. I understand you guys are a little tight with supplies right now, so.
This guy, like, he like kind of looks up and he's like, you know, cleaning his nails the entire time you talk, and he's barely even looking up at you. And he just goes, "Are you done telling me what you need, and I can tell you what you can have now?"
I suppose.
Okay. He reaches over and he opens the drawer, he pulls out a piece of paper. It says here you guys helped last night. I have you, I'm assuming you're bearded. I don't know if I can say that out loud. And you can see he kind of blushes when he reads it. And he puts the paper down and he tucks it away. Oh.
Can I swipe the note to read what it says about me?
You can try if you want.
I want to try. I want to know what he says.
It's just like right beside him, just reading the paper with him.
Ooh,
It's a dex check.
Dex check?
Yeah. He'll make one as well.
Ooh, that's only 14.
You get your fingers on it, and he expertly like pulls it down without the paper ripping. You know, he knows the way of the paper, and he gets it away from you. Quickly tucks it away. And goes, "Well, that was
You're
really
good. You're good. I like. Oh,
And you'll grab you.
Well, it's about me. I'm a curious person.
Well, anyways, since I am good at my job, it's already been packaged, and he gestures over to just like the side of the table. You know, he kind of like goes like this, and he leans over and he points at it. And there's a nice little package just behind his desk, and he like pushes it out with his foot. It looks like there's 2 hides on it.
Yeah.
There's a replacement of leather armor on it, and
Is
it
there
looks
sort of-
like there's something else wrapped in some sort of like waxy paper.
Is there a short as well?
No, just leather armor and some furs and stuff like that.
Is there any chance I can get a short as well? I'll pay double.
What size are you?
Medium to small, I think.
I'm
Probably
sure we can
medium.
find something in the children's section.
Well, hey, I'm bigger than a child. I'm
Large
one is
children
what?
it is. And he kind of like, he stands up and goes, just follow me. And he takes you guys down one way to where there's a place where there's several chests, and he starts going through, and he pulls out like 5 different shirts. All of them seem kind of rough spun. None of them are like super high quality or like super eye catchy.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick out whichever one feels the least rough and itchy.
Alright. You can add a commoner's shirt.
Okay.
And then in that package, there's like 5 pounds of meat. You're not sure if it's bear or squirrel. There's 1 squirrel pelt.
Okay.
And then there's also studded leather armor.
Studded leather. That's a
Seems to
step
be.
up.
Seems
That-
to be. There's studs on it.
I'm claiming that.
But you do notice it's like the weird shell studded leather armor, so instead of it being like hammered in, it's... They're very like... almost like impossibly round, you know? It doesn't look like they've been worked on. There's like no tooling marks on them. It's just this
I'm-
weird little thing.
I'm familiar. I live in Char. I grew up in Char.
Yeah. You're
My
used to it.
parents. I'm familiar.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you can tell it's elven made and not human made.
Okay, nice. So I'm gonna pull that on quickly.
Roll an investigation check.
Yeah. Does it have the stats of studded leather?
It does.
Ooh, yes, that is a step up from what I had. Ooh, 17 on the dice plus investigation. I think I'm trained in that. I am not. So 18.
18. It has actually the symbol of Thornbluff on it, just like right here over the left breast.
Oh well. Okay.
Looks like this probably would usually go to a guard, but seems in short supply. But it is marked that it belongs to Thornbluff, in case you care about that or don't.
Okay.
But it's like, it's not bright, it's just part of the design of the leather.
Yeah. So it's something that like you would only pick up on if you know it's there.
You would tell if like you knew what you were looking for, but if you were like in the woods, it's not bright. It doesn't draw attention to it.
It's just if you're looking at it and you have a moment to like look at it, you can figure it.
You know, you needed like basically an 8 to see it, so it is noticeable, but it's not like completely obvious.
It's not in your face.
Yeah.
Looking at you.
Alright, is there anything else, or you good with this?
Is Bismuth around?
That or he's asleep. He's probably at the thing, or he'll be at one of his meetings somewhere.
I'll run into him when I run into him.
Okay, so is that everything else then? Are you guys good? Look, I have a lot of paperwork to catch up on, so...
I think we're good.
I believe that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long
We
as you're good,
appreciate your
then I'm
time.
good. I bet you do. Okay, well, please. He kind of like gestures towards the door you guys came in.
Yeah, I'll start to head out.
Yep. I'm gonna go as well.
Alright, so you guys come out and same description, still, you know, nice, dark outside, muddy, not a lot of people outside. You can see.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to turn to Aaron. Do you think we need to bring an entire hide with us?
I mean, we can bring it back. We'll see if any of the others have a use for it.
Well, what I'm thinking is that is a big hide that is untanned. It's going to start rotting in a while, right?
True.
But you see, there is also a man here that I would like to talk to. Perhaps he might like it and be able to get it tanned and used.
I like the way you think.
Okay. And if we do give it to him, we just won't tell the others. They don't need to.
Yeah, this will be our little secret.
This is why you're my
One of
favorite.
many.
This is why you're my favorite.
You too.
So, I was told before where his place is. Let me double check the name that I am looking for here.
I'm assuming
Wrote
it's
it down.
Datha.
Yes. Yes. I want to go and see Datha.
Alright. It is probably the most well-maintained house in this entire place. You know, everything looks like it's been kind of boarded up.
Yeah.
A bunch of things have been damaged, but Dathiel's house is very much made for presentation. You know, he hasn't boarded up his windows. He hasn't done any of that. And if anything, it looks like the door has been freshly painted.
Okay. I am going to, when we're like a block away, I'm gonna like quickly comb my beard and I'm gonna comb my hair back with the beard comb.
Alright.
I adjust and straighten my, elven made armor, just like try and make myself tidy and presentable.
I will do none of those things.
Okay.
And I am holding. I'm gonna, if you're okay with it, I'm gonna take like the meat and the hide and everything and throw it into my pocket dimension.
Okay.
Good to me. No
Yeah.
safer place.
I'm also going to do this. I'm gonna quickly cut off a good chunk of the meat. And I'm gonna have it like wrapped up in paper. And I'm gonna have one of my nicer teas in my other hand. I'm gonna nod for you to knock on the door when we get there.
Can I quickly get a perception from you, A-Rod, as you just have the higher perception check?
Okay. Got a +3 on it. Sweet. And it's a 17 on the die. Dirty 20.
You can see there's two kids that are kind of like watching you two, and they're like, it looks like they're like talking. They're like excited as you guys are like walking, and they're kind of like they're like pointing at you guys, and one of them like pushes the other one towards you guys, but he like backs away. And then they like kind of like giggle. And it looks like they're having fun.
But just nod over to AC. Hey, look, got some fans.
You wanna say hi to them?
Sure, why not? I'll stroll on over to them.
They're like very small kids. You'd probably say one of them's like 4 and the other one's like probably 7. Boys, short hair. The younger one has a smile, but the other one, the older one, looks like he's trying to be like more adult, and he's like put in some effort. Looks like he's tried to comb his hair, but they still have like mud on their face. And you can see like one of them has like mud all over his tunic as if they were like wrestling earlier today. And as you approach, like the little one kind of like moves and hides behind the brother. And he's kind of like stands his ground and he waves at you guys as you guys come up.
No need to be scared. Come on, I'll drop down to one knee. What are you guys up to out here?
Oh, my brother's just shy. we heard you were helping the town actually, and we were wondering if you were going to look into the cove.
Cove?
Yeah.
Tell me more about the cove.
People go missing there, but apparently there's a pirate cove where smugglers used to come and go.
A pirate cove, you say? And I'm gonna look
to
at
the south, and he's like starts pointing excitedly. We wonder if there's pirates there still.
a pirate cove, huh? And I'll look at AC and kind of give her a big smile. Smugglers, huh?
Yeah.
That does sound like the sort of thing we would look at, isn't it?
I
It
wanted to go,
does.
but my dad wouldn't let me.
Well, that's smart. I think it's best you guys stay away.
He says we have to stay in the walls.
That's probably the wisest thing, honestly.
Well,
So,
That's because there are things bigger than you. They'll eat you if you go outside the walls before you're too tall.
Yeah, I'm not scared though. And he like puts his arm, kind of like he goes to put it over his brother, but his brother's behind him. Is like this weird bending thing. And there's, I keep him safe. I'm not scared.
That's
of course not.
very brave of you, but you should be scared. Because fear is what keeps you up when you're outside in the dangerous world. Fear keeps you alive.
But if there's
Treasure.
treasure,
Be careful.
no, he's got to be brave and strong. That's what the stories say. And if you're brave and strong, you can fight pirates, and then you can get their treasure.
Pretty
You
sure
want some treasure? And I want to do a... Can I do a sleight of hand to see if I can do the pull the coin behind the ear trick on him with a piece of copper?
Well, I want to hire you, actually. I want, if you find the pirates, you can give me some of the treasure. And I'll give you a map.
A map?
Yeah, I made it myself. It says where the pirates are.
I'll tell you what. Let's see the map, and we'll look into it.
Please tell me there's a big X where the treasure is.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for like the dotted line with the X marks the spot on
That's
there.
exactly what... It looks hand-drawn. You don't even know where he got crayons from, but you swear it's done in crayon. And it looks like there's like this really big town, and there's like an X on it, and then the X has been crossed out, and then they have the dotted line. And it does indeed, it does go south, according to his compass. But it's weird because it goes like slightly off to the side here. It's weird, right? But you think you can follow it? It looks like he also marks the roads. And it's like, it's very childish, but at the same time it's like well done.
So it's like impressively
Like
done.
you're like, this is weird, but this could be a real place.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna, after I look at the map, I'm gonna say, so if you're looking for treasure, I'm gonna try to do the behind the ear coin trick and like can I roll like a sleight of hand or something for that?
Sure.
I'm gonna feel bad if I botch this.
That's right, you're rolling
No.
against two of them. One of them who's behind the other, but he shows
Well,
so.
Well, the first one's a 23.
Advantage?
Yeah, no, it works, and they're like, "You're a wizard?"
No, something better.
Oh my god. We only knew one wizard before, Oba.
You knew Oba.
Yeah.
Do you know where he went?
He went to fight one of the mice. Then he left with the mice. And he like,
Huh.
the older one like, he mouths the words to you, "He's dead." But he just mouths it so his brother can't hear.
I see. Well, I think I'm gonna look back up at AC, grinning with the map. I think we'll take you up on your offer. We'll give you a cut of that treasure, huh?
Okay. Thank
It
you.
might take us a while to find it, though, because it looks like it's pretty far away, and it might be very dangerous.
Looks about a day away on the map.
But if
Very
we find
far.
something, we'll make sure to come back and share with you whatever we find.
Yay! He high fives his brother, and they run off down the alley. You can hear they're excitedly talking. Their first contract. They're stoked.
I'm gonna give the map over to AC. You wanna stash this in your
I stash it. You're gonna have us looking for this after we drop the guy off at Millscar, aren't you?
Of course. Smugglers? Come on. A treasure? Like, what? Can you imagine the things we find in there? This is perfect. This is exactly the sort of thing we're looking for.
This is exactly the sort of thing you're looking for.
Always.
My thing is in that door now.
Yes, I'm going. I'm going. I'll
You're
go knock on the
going
door.
to take one.
I'll go knock on the door.
Alright, you knock on the door. How hard do you knock? Just out of curiosity, if you are.
Not very polite. Not like a polite little knock. Like I'm kind of like bam, bam. Like
Actually, I
On
want this
the
like me.
second knock, like you hit it once, and you can hear like just the sound of like a table, just the sound of a chair screeching against the floor, and someone moving before you even hit it. Like, how many times do you knock?
twice.
Twice. All right. And he opens it as soon as he can, and
I'm
very-
giving you like the doggish
he's
goodies.
like pushing his hair back. You know, very nice long hair. Looks like he has it in a ponytail. Even for this morning, he looks put together. He looks regal, not a hair out of place. After like, it's just impressive the way he sweeps his hand through, and doing this almost like has the effect of combing his hair. And he's wearing some very nice robes. They're red. They're still open in the front, and you can see a nice shirt underneath. It's not rough spun. It looks very well put together. And he kind of looks at you guys, and he cocks an eyebrow, and he goes, I wasn't aware we had a meeting this morning.
I'm sorry. It's a little and I'm speaking to him in Elvish. It's a little presumptuous of me to
Oh,
come
he
by.
was speaking in Elvish from the start.
Yeah. But I was hoping perhaps I could talk to you about elven magic. My father never got the chance to tell me much, and you seem to know more than most people I've come across. I did bring gifts, if it would please you. And I offer up the chunk of meat that I've wrapped up in paper and the tea I had bought.
The gifts are welcomed. And he reaches out and he takes them from you. And I'm sure we could talk about it at length, as we can do with most things, but I am rather quite busy. I am the town's healer, and I'm currently tending to 2 people in the back that spent the night. Perhaps we could schedule something. What exactly is your interest with high magic?
Mostly learning more about it in general. I've never been able to cast druidic magics or divine magics.
Can you cast any magics?
What?
Can you cast any magics?
I can do this, and I reach into nothing, and I pull out some of the jewelry that I possess. And I throw it over my shoulder, and it disappears back in. I can pull whatever I want from another dimension as I see fit. That's all I've been able to teach myself so far.
Why don't you come back tonight? We'll talk about it tonight, as long as nothing disturbs the town this night.
Thank you very much. I would appreciate it.
And you don't ever knock on my door like that again.
Harder? Softer?
Softer. Faint tapping if you must.
You got it. And I'll
You-
just start on my heel.
Alright, as you guys are leaving, you can see he's looking at his door, seeing if you damaged it. He's just...
Once we turn and walk away, I immediately sharply elbow A-Rod in the kidney.
What the hell is that? You said
I
knock on the
him.
door.
Like me.
I knocked on the door. It's not my fault I'm so easily offended.
Come on, he's clearly a snob.
Clearly.
Clearly.
I'm like kissing this quietly to you. Once we've gotten a bit away, it's like, I don't want Elvin hearing to hear me.
Meanwhile, where are you guys going next?
Probably right back,
Yeah, I think just back to the.
Alright, well, before you guys show up there, Cole, you are awakened. Shalasha, you're also disturbed from whatever it is you're doing as the door is pushed open and Bismuth just kind of
Oh, I just
walks into the house.
Good morning.
Ah, told you I'd be by in the morning, didn't I?
Come here.
Yeah.
Come here, my love.
Little people get up at weird times. I'm a bit of an early riser.
Oh, me too. This is usually when you get up if you're going for a bit of a hunt, and old habits tend to die hard, you know.
Of course.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
Well, I was hoping you'd be able to fill me in as to what exactly the plan is, or where's the rest of ya? And he starts looking around, and he like sees Nikolai, and he just gives him like a little wave, and Nikolai waves back.
The detective went out. AC, I'm not certain. Elf, dwarf. I think they're an elf. The one with the beard. They got pretty torn up last night, so they went out to find a replacement armor for themselves.
Yeah, fine lass has a bit of a fight to her.
Yeah, so they said they would be back in fairly short order, I'd assume.
Well, in that case, why don't I just make myself at home? And he walks over, puts his feet up on a table, kind of like leans back.
As for the tower itself, we were going to discuss it when we got back.
We don't even get a band.
But we can't say for certain what the best plan of action is. That's why we wanted to reconvene once everyone kind of got their bearings. Do you have an input on it? What were you looking to do with the tower? I understand it's kind of a safety problem for the villagers, but...
Well, I mean, things are half taken down, as it is. I figured it would be best to deal with it before it deals with itself.
Surprisingly, it's actually in pretty good order. It seems that the enchanted... that side that's completely wide open is enchanted.
Oh god!
He kind of like cocks his elbow, not his elbow, his eyebrow at this. And at this point, A-Rod and Acid, you guys would also be walking. As you can see, the front door has been pushed open. And it, you know, you can see
I
into your
walk
house.
in with pulling that big chunk of meat out of absolutely nothing. We brought meat. I'm hoping it's fair, but I'm not going to ask if it isn't.
That's most
It
likely
is.
the bear that you and I brought in yesterday.
Oh, I see you guys have been busy. Already been down and collecting your gifts, huh?
I didn't like feeling so naked in the area, not with all the dangers running around. I'm sure you can understand.
My hide's thick enough.
Now that we're all present, for the most part, I think we need to decide what we need to do with the tower. Do
The best
we...
thing to do is nothing.
Well, we could leave it locked up, but anyone can get in there, like small kids get in there, and they could get hurt.
Yeah.
Even if we decide to leave it as is, we can't really effectively lock it up because you know kids.
And I also believe, A-Rod, I gave you another thing to look into. Have you guys discussed that as well?
Out of care. What did he tell me to look into?
Looking into the woods. Stopping the animals from the source
No.
and figuring out what it is they're after.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten around to that after everything that happened last night.
Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm here so early, as it is a wide time before the night.
Yeah, I think we can, you trying to go for another hunting party there, Bismuth?
Well, I'm not, unless, I'll cut to the chase. If you're going to be staying at my town, and you're going to be dealing with my tower, you could at least look into me woods.
That sounds fair.
I don't believe we have a problem pitching in, so to speak. But we should only be here for another day or so, so we could look into these things for you, but we can't guarantee a definitive outcome, but we can probably get you better information at the very least.
Good, good. Now that's what I like to hear. Some nice, agreeable folks staying in my town.
We had heard from a couple of children that the previous wizard in town had gone to deal with some mice.
And then he left with them.
Mice.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's talking about when Oba got skewered like a pig.
Is that what happened?
I mean, if you find him, he's on a lancer mouse tusk somewhere. Robes and all. I hear some people care about the robes of a wizard.
Out of character, Oba was the septum, yeah?
Yes. And the man who owned the tower.
Yeah. And did he actually go to
This-
wherever these mice were?
The story you were told is Pawn went to help. Something happened, she ended up on the outside of the town, and she never came back. The next night, Oba stepped up to try to defend the town, and he got killed. And then the mouse left with Oba's body impaled on its tusks. So when he says he left with the mouse, he left
That's
with the
probably what he
mouse.
means. Yeah.
And that's why the kid was like, he's dead.
That's what they were telling children. Okay. Well, that is nothing if not depressing.
Well, you know, it's a bit of a bloody business, but hunting, politics, turns out they're not so different after all.
Seems so.
So,
This-
back to... Sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Just curious. So, in the tower, Core went and looked upstairs, but there's a crystal up there that we might be able to deactivate all the magic in the tower. So, A-Rod, you told AC about Jitch, correct?
Wow.
Oh yes, yes. I filled her.
Hold on, I'm assuming this one here is Cole, and he points towards the little kobold. Why don't you
Yes.
tell me exactly what you saw at the top of that tower, and what it is that you think, instead of letting this one speak for you? Horse's mouth and all of that.
I fold up a note and put that into my little black book, and well, let's see. I did see a crystal chair. There were some gloves on the chair. A bunch of mirrors. Out of character, I remember that something was
character.
cracked.
There was
I
two
do not-
crystals.
Two crystals? Yeah,
One was
I
cracked.
remember something was cracked. It was the other crystal? Okay. Because I didn't really remember that part very well.
A large broken crystal with several runes carved into it.
I think that was all?
Okay, and you think one of these crystals then is the thing that can deal with the tower?
I have his journal right here. And I'll just pull it out of the nothingness. It is my armor. Goes over kind of his thought process. It was very scatterbrained in a lot of ways, but does give me a little bit of insight into kind of the deal with Jitch. Jitch is a little crazy now, but yeah, it goes into the crystal and what it could possibly do.
Oh,
It just one of two options. Either it gets rid of all the magic in the entire tower and it becomes nullified, and Jitch disappears, or you know, then again, Jitch might not be able to escape. He's kind of fat. Or it deactivates all the magic, but then Jitch is still there, and there's a risk that he gets into town.
oh,
Well-
which is it? He's stuck in the tower because he's fat, or he can get into the town? Pick a
I'm not
narrative,
entirely
goddammit.
certain exactly.
Did you buy me?
We don't know what kind of magic he had there. He seems too big to fit down the stairwell, so he's currently guarding a set of stairs. But
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go fuck my sister.
I don't know
See,
if
that's
it's
not-
enchanted. I don't know if it's going to bring something down that's going to give him a way to escape.
I do have a thought. Hear me out. This Lich is protecting the tower, and it'll only deal with Oba. I haven't been to see them yet, right?
Correct.
A mouse is out there running around with Oba still on its head. What if we find Oba's vote? I put them on.
Not playing objective too well, but yeah.
Talk to this Lich.
I don't want to be a little rude, lassie, and I'm sure you're a fine actress. But Oba had 7 eyes, and he stood just over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, that is one problem.
I mean,
We still are a wizard. I could disguise myself easily with their powers.
unfortunately,
What do you
our
mean if you
wizard
still had a
just-
wizard? And that's what he looks around and he sees taps going.
Yeah,
Tap,
they just
tap.
decided to wander off.
Oh shit, would you look at that, Hayrod? You yourself as a deserter, now you're here? With a group of a bunch of deserters.
I'm gonna stare daggers into him when he says that.
Isn't that just a turn of the phrase?
I'm assuming you're a deserter as well, then, since you know this?
Me, honorably discharged. Wouldn't you know? Me and Avod, great army buddies, let me tell ya.
Shut up. I'm like, no, something.
So, did they really make you shave your head when you joined?
Oh, no, just the pretty ones.
And I'm gonna reach over and I'm gonna push Arod's hair back entirely and try to, like, cover up as much of it as I can. I don't think you'd look good without hair.
That's why we let him keep it. Just kidding.
Didn't want to look on him without it. That's fair.
So, anyways then, which is it going to be? The tower or the woods?
What is more of a pressing concern for you? Probably the woods.
Probably. I mean, and at the very least, maybe you can find the things in the wood before they make it to me bloody town.
Hate to save your ass twice, huh?
Alright.
If
Oh,
I
there's-
remember, you were fucking around in a tower while I was defending my town, and if anyone was saving anyone's ass, it was this one. And he points towards Assy.
Oh, you noticed.
I don't think I even saw ya the entire night. Until
Yeah, that's
the
the
very
point.
end, when you came to loot me, men.
Loot your men? What? Okay, fine, I looted your men.
He did
So
shoot
what?
the bird out of the sky.
But you know, I would be crossed. But it's about on par for your character, isn't it? Last to the party. First one in the pool, though, as soon as... Oh, I should say first one to the feast, really. You're a bit of a glutton.
I have
Talk
seen
a
him
lot.
eat. That is true.
Hey! Come on, really? You really
What?
think so? Do I really?
You always take 2 servings to my 1.
Wow, this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call.
But I'll tell you what. You can get off to the woods, and I'll keep this one, and he points towards Nikolai, some right good company. I'm sure we got lots to talk about.
Sounds fair enough, I suppose.
Can I roll an insight check on this dude?
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll an insight check on him. There's something about the way he's saying that right now.
I mean, he's sketchy as shit.
Yeah.
Sketchy? Sketchy?
Isn't sketchy?
No way.
You fist a bear's eye
The
once.
dude that walked into town, killed one creature, and said, "I'm the mayor now." He's sketchy.
He's sketchy? No.
No.
You're right.
I have-
You're right. Fuck me.
I have +1, so it's only a 15.
15.
I'm not sure that give me anything.
You can tell he's putting on a very friendly face, and there's definitely quite a few things he's saying. He means to say without outright stating it. You're not sure if it's actual business, if this is his sort of way of like gently reminding you guys that he kind of has the ability. You know, as much as it's a discussion, he's also kind of speaking with authority towards you guys that you may or may not have agreed to. And he just seems to expect it done.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of cock my head to the side, like I'm gonna look over Nikolai's direction, and just give like a little cock my head, kind of like a, "You all right? You good?"
How do you feel about this?
You see Nikolai just kind of like takes a deep breath, and just lets it out, and he just kind of gives you, what are you gonna do about it sort of thing. You know, you take what you can, you deal with what you can. Not quite defeated, but just kind of like acceptance. But also a little relief that he's not going into the forest with the motors animals.
I agree because
I think
games, right? Like 20k, 30k.
I think closest thing to home might be the best thing. We can't say for certain where these animals, these creatures are coming from. Maybe there's something in the tower talks about it. We don't know how far they are away. We don't know what's driving them. So maybe the wizard might have information. I think dealing with the tower close to home might be good. That way, at least you can retreat to the tower. It's fairly secure.
I've completely lost about what it is you're going on about. We went from the forest to retreating to the tower. How did you get from point A to point B?
Because the tower is easily defensible, so if we disable the magic, at least we can try and get some knowledge. And worst case scenario, you can hide in the tower because it's easily defensible.
So you're saying you're going to deal with the tower then?
Yes.
Today?
Bonnie, we needed info. I can see us.
We really
We
are.
have all day.
We call out our information.
And then you'll do the forest both in one day.
Wow. We don't know about the forest.
So you don't...
That's-
Okay. Well, I just mostly need to know how many guards I need on night today.
We'll be in town, so...
Yeah.
Tell you what, you go deal with that tower, and when you're done, you come talk to me.
Okay, I have a question. How late
Sure.
do my answers come in?
No problem.
Not too late.
Do we even have enough juice for like another potential fight?
3.
I think I can squeeze out like one more spell, but that's it.
You
Maybe
didn't,
two.
you didn't finish your resting, did you?
Out of character, it takes
Sage?
a full day for us to get everything back.
Oh, yeah, because we're a traveler.
Mhm.
Fuck.
I'm so glad I
would-
don't have spell slots.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
Just knife
Pretty
slots.
much tapped out.
Just their kidneys.
I cast arrow.
Maybe, I think, because again, we're still working on the weird traveler thing. I'll say probably, we'll keep the hit dice thing, but since you guys were in a fortified place, we'll let you get your spell slots back, we'll say. I think that would probably make more sense.
It takes time to heal your wounds.
It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
But
Yeah, I
to
feel like
recover your
it's-
energy.
Yeah, we'll work on keeping the healing slow, but we'll let the spell slots come back, since you guys technically are still in a fortified place. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah, that sounds fair to me.
Because otherwise I'm just hammering Justin at this point.
Yeah, sorry, Justin.
Yeah, a lot of my abilities also are like technically long rest.
Yeah, so we'll do it like that. Since you guys are in a fortified place, that's fine, but wounds still take a while to heal, we'll say.
That's
And
fair
then the
enough.
Weary Traveler will still apply with the whole 24 hours if you guys are out in the woods, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
I don't hear
Cool.
anyone.
I mean,
I'll let you
I'm-
take back what you said if you want, or you can still say it if you want to say that, Justin. I don't know what Cole's intentions are in this conversation. You tell me.
Already said.
Already said?
Nope, already said it.
Alright.
Just
I'm
making sure we
feeling
have enough.
pretty spry.
Almonds dead.
I'm pretty confident I can get to the top of the tower.
I can go with you.
Yeah, we'll all
And
go.
I know at least a little bit about magic. Maybe
Okay.
the 2 of us together read through this book, see what we
How
can
are
figure
you-
out.
What's your plan to get to the top of the tower?
It's a little weird, but I've always had
Is
this
there a spray
weird
fountain around the
ability
shop?
to
Is that
kind
something?
of,
Well, you just gotta spray.
I don't want to call it teleport, but
What?
it's weird. It's limited distance, but it allows me to get access to places I
I would hope.
shouldn't be able to get to easily.
There's another thing that we could just bring up here, since you, my friend, said this thing was meant to protect.
Yes.
What if we did kind of a 2 birds, 1 stone sort of thing?
Rearrange his pack?
Yeah, what if we got him to, like, protect a town or something?
They're here. Rotate.
I mean, he was
Nope,
contractually
nope,
bound
nope.
by a magic caster. I'm not certain if there's any. I'm not certain what the contract
You're
entails.
from
It's-
Yun! That's for you to figure out.
Okay.
You know what? I think that is a really good idea, and we'll start working on that right now. I'm sure you don't want to sit around and watch us go through a book, do you?
Hey, Rod. Take notes from this one. She's a go-getter. Aims to please,
Oh.
doesn't she?
Oh, go to hell. I'm gonna roll my shoulders.
I'm gonna pull up my diary and I'm gonna start writing.
Some of us were just raised better by our parents than others. And I pat you affectionately on the cheek, but you feel my hand against your neck as I'm patting you. Just like tap out the 2 no danger taps that we usually use when we can't talk but we're right next to each other.
I'm gonna look to you, just smile and nod.
Well, I'll do the house sitting then, and you do the tower soothing or whatever your kids
You
call
need to
it
go
these days.
through, do some research first. We probably won't be leaving until around noon.
Oh,
This sort of thing, magic takes time, research. I
Yes,
definitely
it's
want
called.
to just sit around. You seem like a busy man. You probably have better things to do than watch us read.
I do have better things to do than watching a couple of monkeys trying to figure out which end. So tell you what, I'll be back later. And he just kind of like pushes back from the chair, dusts himself off, and walks out the door.
The second that door closes, I'm gonna kind of like
Oh, he doesn't
slowly.
close it. He leaves it open.
Oh, I'll
It's
close
like-
it. I'll slam it behind him then, just. And I'm just gonna quietly mutter, "I might kill him before we leave."
It might help you.
He's not
Well,
gonna-
as soon as he's out of earshot, I'll be like,
What?
he's a bit of a fucking
Did you just
dick.
say he's in?
Yeah, that's Bismuth.
But seems like he's doing good, so then it's
Sorry.
is it
I
worth
mean, good in a
Good's a
Calls it
relative term.
tooth kind of way.
Yeah.
He
Okay. Do we have
Yeah,
spikes
but
still?
they
Or
need
they
somebody strong to protect them.
He
He was he
there's a
took
difference
on the
between
veil
strong and armbar.
1v1 until I got in the middle and started stabbing it, you know?
I don't know.
Not people can or will do something like that.
I don't know. I don't call rolling into town, killing one thing, and then just suddenly owns the town for necessarily good thing.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying he's at least helping.
We'll see.
I'm saying how much worse would this town be without him? We don't know.
How much better would it be without him?
We don't know.
You don't know.
Exactly.
I'm going to
What is it?
The tower. I want to look through that book with you.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
I actually gotta do something quick here, and I'll pull out the wizard's journal and I'll kind of hand it over to you. But I'm gonna start scribbling in my journal.
Do you need any help with that?
No, I just it's this old weird journal I found in
He's gonna hate us when we go fucking.
a mine once, and it lets me like access information from past users. It's a little weird.
It's fucking old. Watch and see.
Sounds interesting.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Feel free to
Let's
walk.
go.
But
I have 15, and then our redemption
I'm
match.
thinking if we find enough information in this about his deal with, about Obad's deal with,
Why is it happening to you?
maybe we can find a way to reassign Jitch.
That's actually exactly what I'm gonna be writing
Okay,
about.
open doors.
I know that his contract was for 120 years,
Mhm.
and
Side towers.
he has 89 years left.
Mhm.
So there's still a significant amount of time left. I'm not certain about
78.
the specifications of magical contracts
You guys
and
have to
their
split
ability
this.
to be repurposed, but maybe some old spirit can give me
Let's go.
information.
It's okay, I got it.
What do you want to write into your journal?
I want to write about
Precious bombs.
I told you.
how do I want to word this? What can you tell me about magical contracts, Beholderkin,
Does it
and the
begin with Dear Diary?
Oh, the purple bind to you guys.
Dear Papa.
Grab armor, grab a gun.
Yo, Papa! Oh god, that's
I
cool.
got daddy issues. I'd like to ask about magical contracts, Beholderkin,
That's okay.
and the repurposing of magical contracts.
Okay. So you write that in.
Go
It
away.
might take a little bit and you'll need to check back on this thing. But as you write it in, and as soon as you put your
Mike,
quill to the side, you wait a couple of seconds and you see the ink kind of bleeds into the sheets and just vanishes. There's like no trace that you ever wrote into it. This happened.
I'm looking
before.
over your shoulders. That's cool.
Yeah, I found in a cave.
what do you need to buy?
That's actually I'm an archaeologist by trade.
Thank you.
I picked up the ability to fight just guarding people when I first started.
What?
We can add a fight.
Alki what? Alki.
Archaeology is a study of ancient sites, relics, that sort of
Obviously,
thing.
Mike does
You
add
can
one.
drop me in
I'm not saying.
a dungeon or a cave in probably any continent, and I could give you an appraisal of what different relics are worth, what era it's related back to. It's really quite fascinating.
Some gems.
I could. You give me an old gem, I can tell you what it's down to pretty much the copper.
Yeah, I can do similar, but only with gems. Like, I know what most gems are worth. I know how to cut them to be worth more. That sort of stuff. If it's a fancy enough gem, I can probably tell you what it was used in at one point. But
That's pretty cool.
just what my family does, you know.
Oh, and
Easy name.
I have a couple spells here that I found in Oba's journal.
Don't repeat.
Oh,
I don't think I'm able to access this kind of magic. It's a little bit out of my skill range. It's more mystical than like divine, if that makes sense.
Just always on.
But I think if we have someone who knows like more wizard-like magic, or someone who knows a bit more natural magic, if that makes sense, more inherent magic, like a druid or something, I think rangers can
She's gonna go for
use basic nature magic.
I did go and try to talk to Deathia.
No.
I wanted to ask them if they could teach me anything about elven high magic. They're busy, and I'm supposed to go back and visit tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But like I said, I know a little bit about arcane stuff. I've read about it because I thought it was cool, and at one point I thought, maybe I'd be able to make these cool rings and stuff and put magic in them, and it would be awesome. I never got around to it. Actually, surprisingly hard to learn how to do magic when you're on the...
Magic it takes quite a bit of, either you need a lot of skill, a lot of patience, or a helping hand, shall we say. I've seen some weird things in my time. People pulling out magic far beyond their years. And it
I
just...
need the right bloodline.
Exactly.
It was the sorceress down the block when I grew up. Every time I tried, it would start to rain.
Out of character, Arod, you're a rogue, right? Or you're a ranger?
Rogue.
So you have two rogues.
What?
We got double the rogue. Double the trouble.
That.
Double.
So, what is your guys' plan when you're in here? You said you want to look over that contract, so why don't you give me an investigation check? Or it can be an insight check to try to,
What's the
figure out the
in the
meaning
journal?
behind the words.
Has it talked about the contract. You didn't say the contract was in the journal.
I'm aware.
Okay.
Can I help somebody else do it? Can like one of us help each other do it? Because we're gonna do it together.
I have proficiency in investigation, so yeah.
Alright,
I do not. I will
then
help
you can roll it with advantage, Shalasha. To look into this.
We will look over these notes together.
I'll take a 19 instead of a 2. So after it's all said and done, it is a 23.
23. And can you also roll an arcane check for me? Or history.
Can I help again? With
Can
either?
I-
Trained in both.
Can I use my archaeology background to, if it's a specific
Nope.
area, place just
Sadly not.
Can I
Not about
give
that.
along the arcane instead? Because I'm actually proficient in both arcane and history.
I'm proficient in arcane, but I only have a +1 to it. So
Yeah.
if you have a better than
I want to say it's just for Shalasha because this is kind of like his understanding of things as you're pointing things out.
okay.
So
that's 16 plus 1.
Alright.
No,
Oh, no.
plus
That much.
as proficiency. So that's a 19.
19. Alright. Now, quick question out of game. Do you guys want to take a break today or do you just want to power through? I think we'll probably play for maybe another hour.
Take a break, probably.
Alright, then why don't we take the break here quickly, and then I'll get back to you guys with all of that, and we'll kind of reconvene in about, what do you say? You want 10 or 15 minutes? 5? I think 5 minutes is probably good. Unless you
Yeah,
guys
that's all
want
I
longer.
really need. Unless someone else needs longer.
They know where you are. They know where you are. They know where
I'm
you are.
good for whatever. So
Alright, well, let's say 5 minutes then. Speak now for hold your peace.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll see you guys back in about 5 minutes then.
I will get some fresh water.
speak now or forever hold your beans.
Alright. And just for fun, I'm not going to deafen the things. I will, actually, I will. And I'll turn some music on for you guys, and to you guys checking out the stream, thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, kiddos, you guys good to go?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
As ready as we're gonna be.
At some point, put up a link to the Weary Traveler rules.
I will.
So I'd like to have those on hand and read
I'll-
up on them.
I'll quickly write up my version of them and I'll send those so then we can all have them as well as with the
And then we can
change
stick
that we
with
just made. So then everything will make sense. And I'll get that to you guys tonight or tomorrow. Soon.
Whenever.
Before the next game. Promise. If not, it's James's fault. Blame him.
Okay.
Of course.
That being said, I believe last we left off, we were poring over a journal looking over some things. There was a effort to try to understand the contract that happened as well as basing it on Shalas's understanding of what this creature is, what he may or may not know about Jitch. I believe you said you got an 18 on your arcane check, correct? You can just give me a thumbs up if you don't want to unmute. I see I'm biting into your precious food time.
My alt tab wouldn't work for some reason. It was 18 plus 1, so 19.
19, alright. Your understanding is that these things are called spectators and they're made in a ritual. You even know that it takes 4 stalks of a beholder to make one of these things. And that's where they come from. They're actually created by the spell. You also understand that when these things are broken, if they fail in their task, they disappear. They're gone. But if they survive and they complete their task, they're granted their freedom. Looking at this, what he says, you don't have the exact copy of the contract or anything like that. You don't know what was exactly said in the ritual, but the wording that you pick up from Oba is that he's supposed to protect the tower and mostly whatever Oba perceives as his. You are bound. I summoned this creature. I created Jitch to protect what's mine and to keep my tower safe. Is the wording you get. So maybe if you could convince Jitch that the town counts as his, that's maybe your best shot.
By
Or,
extension,
if you found a way to destroy the tower, Jitch might vanish because he failed at his task.
because as a powerful wizard, he is technically taking care of the village. So, by extension, it's the tower and his town.
Maybe. You might be able to word it that way. But that's your understanding of the two ways to deal with
Like
it.
6 games to get out of it.
Okay.
Because every game
From that. There's obviously a lot more if you can think of them. But
Can I check my journal?
Yep.
Has anything happened yet? Did I get a vibration on my?
nope,
Oh, dude, legit.
no one's hit your pager.
Good, and next thing I
No
know,
text from Elder Daddy.
No, Daddy hasn't replied to me yet.
Yeah.
So, if I'm not mistaken, we might be able to
Oh, that
twist
so
Oba's
power.
words a little bit to kind of get
Yes.
Judge working for us. That still doesn't explain how we get him out of the tower because he seems a little too big. But we'll figure something out. That being said, I think we can get him to play nice.
Hey, this quick.
What if I get upstairs in the tower by convincing him that I'm not real?
That's what Core did.
Yeah,
And I tried scaling the outside of the building, but only the second level is enchanted to be open.
Jog my memory quickly. When you say your diary, you're referring to the scroll, right?
Yeah, I just call it my diary.
Thank
No,
you.
I'm gonna lose power.
Just wanted to double check. I was like, did I miss something? Cool.
What is RR?
Please continue.
No, I just feel like a child running.
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
diary.
I just wanted one. Okay, thank you.
To get it after a match. To rank up or
you call it a diary, but really it's just a scroll.
But
Okay.
the up to the building, it was magically formed. So the second level is able to abuse the fact that the bricks are seemingly enchanted into place. So I could use it to pull myself up. That's how I got the rope up there. But the rest of the building is perfectly sculpted, almost by, well, magic. And Core told us that at the very top of the tower there are windows, but they're complete panes. There's no way to open them. And the worry was that if we just were to break a window, Jitch might... I want to say go feral?
I'd look up from writing in my own little black book and...
Yeah, probably.
Just a
So that's why I'm hoping that if we can convince him that the townsfolk are under Boba's care, and that is his townsfolk, that we could protect the townsfolk from Jitch trying to eat them, or whatever Jitch is going to do, as well as keep everyone safe, apply a magical bodyguard.
Okay, so that's something that'll help them for about 80 years. Not too long, but it's something.
And I know a little bit about Jitch and his kind, but I'm not totally certain like how powerful they are and what he's capable of. I know they're pretty vicious. That you don't...
Powerful enough to protect the town from at least some of these monsters that have been attacking them.
And they're very intelligent, which is their high point. They're very full of themselves, very intelligent. So, who knows, he could do a lot for the town. He could be mayor one day.
Just the mayor.
I mean, he has more brains than a dwarf.
Especially that one.
Thought I heard him.
Little racist, but okay.
I mean, I was calling him stupid. I wasn't bringing his race into this. I was referring to him mostly because
I was referring to his add-on of especially that one.
Alright. Regardless, I think I'm gonna head to the tower. I'm gonna take a look around. Chances are I'd really like to get into those cabinets and look at the books.
I do have one small worry.
Yep.
If we do convince him to guard the town, you mentioned before that this Jitch seems... he's been alone for a long time, yeah?
He has 3 illusions that are constantly saying the same 2 phrases over and over and over again, and that's how he discerns time, by how many times this phrase has been uttered.
Okay. So he's definitely gone a little kooky.
I'm so sorry, that was my fault.
How good of an idea then is it to leave this thing protecting a bunch of people that don't know much about magic?
That's exactly why I said that they are his townsfolk. So anyone, regardless whether he perceives them to be real or not, they are still the wizards, therefore he is still contractually bound to protect them. He's not going to try and eat them, because they are, in essence, the wizards property.
Okay, now that we got a win,
They are under his
What about
care.
if somebody says something that makes him think that they aren't townfolk?
We'll have to talk to Bismuth about it, and if he's going to be in running the town, that Jitch must consult Bismuth if possible to ensure townsfolk, like citizenship, if that makes sense. Anyone that Bismuth officially says is one of the townsfolk will fall under the contract.
Oh, fuck, 2v1. We're on site.
I'm not sure if we want to give Bismuth the ability to deal with Jitch. That puts him in even more power right now than he is. The only other person I know with any sway here would probably
Hey, this
be
is Silver Elf.
the elf, but
Okay, so then we say anyone who tries to actively harm other people that are existing townsfolk now, because probably the only ones left are like the women and children who are unable to escape.
Where are you aiming? What are you
So
doing?
anyone who tries to interfere with...
very well, James. What are you saying?
Sorry.
Here's the thing, too.
I just cannot hear what's going on. There's too
Yeah, I
many.
couldn't hear.
Sorry.
So basically, the way I see it, if anyone who is currently in town right now, they're most likely the women, the children, the ones who are unable to kind of muster the strength to escape. What if we were to basically state it as anyone who is an existing townsfolk? If anyone comes in from outside who tries to interfere with the life of the town, the existing townsfolk, they would be subject to Jitch's defense. If they're to come in and like steal food, obviously they're not good. If they try and attack the town or burn down the town.
This is a problem, right? A town like this, they need more people to come in, right?
Yeah, but if they come in and they make friends with the townsfolk, they follow the contract because they're not.
Jitch might not see that.
Well, he is very intelligent. That's the thing.
Is he? Because
Also insane.
Oh God, he didn't sound that intelligent.
I mean, he's a little crazy, but he's also been alone for the better part of 30 years, with like a 10-second illusion on a loop.
Hence why I'm a bit worried about just, oh yeah, it's fine, leave him here.
But that's why we leave the contract saying if anyone tries to disrupt the town or disturb, or destroy the town, then he can protect it. But if people come in to shop, do day-to-day, and it's not affecting the townsfolk, then he should leave them be. Basically, we give him definitive means to protect the town from the creatures outside. That seems to be the biggest problem.
Does seem to be their most pressing issue at the moment.
And worst case scenario, they can request Jitch to enforce his duties. We might need to install like a council or get a few people that we know aren't power-hungry assholes. Because Bismuth seems a little... He's a cunt, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, you're right.
The elf may be a little full of himself, but... Can anyone attest to his character? He's a little spotty, but he seems to be morally
Seems
fine.
well put together.
He definitely cares about appearances. And when we first came in, he was the one sent as like the welcoming party, essentially.
Alright. So I think the plan is we should talk to Bismuth and the elf and make them a partnership, so to speak. Like their council. I don't care who makes the official decisions as long as it's kind of mutually understood or agreed upon. We'll try and get Jitch to guard the town. That way it kind of covers them on the forest and the tower, and they can get off our backs.
I think we should talk to Gitch first.
Gitch?
You mean
Jitch?
Gitch, yeah.
Or I thought you were talking about the dwarf's underpants. I mean, he's a bit of a brown streak, if you know what I mean.
74 on fade and
Oh, I know what you mean.
Alright. I think we head to the tower. We run
I
it
think
by
so.
him
what would you write?
and see
So-
just how bad this turns out. Worst case scenario,
Do you want to try to get into the top first, and or
I think the
see if
top
you can find a way to turn off the magic of the tower before we even talk to him?
I don't think so. Because we don't know if it's going to kill Jitch or unsummon him, so to speak. So I think if I understood the wording in the journal properly, the contract gives him his freedom. So for that
No, I
sake,
think
he
you're
is a
right.
sentient creature.
I honestly think they're.
I don't know what they are meant to be, if they're inherently evil.
I barely saw her feet.
But
for a second.
I think he deserves a say in it. It's effectively his life and his freedom.
No, she
I
ain't.
agree.
Hear me out.
I was accurate spray pattern.
I think if we go and turn off the power source of the tower, that would void his contract because it would count as destroying it.
The lowest
And
rank
once
is
his
zero.
contract is voided, if he did not complete his duties for the allotted time,
Because once you get
he's
that-
gone.
Exactly. So perhaps you guys go in and talk to him. I'll wait outside. And
What?
if he doesn't agree, then I'll go inside, convince him that I am not real with a little whoop. Because if I'm not real, how can I pull an entire hide out of nothing and then it's gone? Right?
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I can limitedly
Am I
tell.
an elf? Am I a dwarf? You don't know. Obviously, I'm not real.
I
Joel, can you
think since I have the best understanding of the contract in nature, I'm gonna talk to him and then we can go downstairs and decide what our final plan of action is.
That's the one I go.
Is that fair?
But I'm saying I don't think I should go in with you guys to convince him.
Just in
I'll
case.
hang around just outside the room and listen. And if
Yeah,
it doesn't go well, I can convince him that I'm not real, sneak up past, and try to turn it off. I also have a earring of message, so if you're close enough, I can message you, and hopefully you can help talk to me about things.
Okay. I think that's a good plan. You can wait at the bottom of the stairs on the second level within earshot and he still won't be able to see you.
Yep.
Alright. So I'm going to check my journal once more, and then if nothing else, I'll kind of grab my belongings and head out to the tower.
I'm gonna look over your shoulder, because I'm nosy.
You see nothing. No answer.
Whatever thing that talks to you on this is surprisingly quiet.
I mean, I don't expect a whole lot. It's
Mid.
kind of like a parlor trick. It's unreliable, but it can prove handy sometimes.
I think my parlor trick's better.
So with that,
So we're
you
headed to the
guys are
tower?
Off to the tower, like Erod said?
Yep.
Alright.
I think have some bear meat for breakfast first, you guys.
Dead.
I ate when you were gone. I'm not really hungry.
You see, he ate when we weren't here. No one else. Did anyone see him eat?
I was asleep.
You just hear Nikolai cough in the corner.
I'll open my bag and I'll pull out my rations. You think these are just here for show?
Yes.
Because I'm trying to hide
Good.
the fact that I'm... You're right. I'm actually dead. My bad.
You see, it's not as fun when you admit it so easily.
So bad.
Nikolai, did you see him eat?
How are you got it right now?
I mean, I wasn't really paying attention. I was dealing with other more pressing matters.
Did you see me when I was applying my ointment?
As I said, I wasn't really paying attention.
Because you're not saying I bought this one on the last
When you say
episode.
it like that, it sounds weird.
I got hurt.
Not what you said, Nikolai. I'm talking about the ointment comment, because, like,
I mean,
why
I
would
told
you
you
apply ointment?
I have a skin disorder. That's the entire point I couldn't get undressed with you at the bathhouse.
See, it sounds weird.
Well, his secrets are his to keep.
No,
His secrets are
my,
mine to find out.
my
He'll
skin
tell you
boils.
when he's ready.
My skin boils in the sunlight. I'm sorry.
Are you a vampire?
That's
No.
what I've been saying.
Not a vampire. It's possible that someone in my familial line once had some sort of relation with like a vampire spawn, so it's possible that something kind of got passed down the line. It makes sense to have a sunlight sensitivity, but it just kind of boils over and forms like sores. So that's why I have to stay in my armor all the time, especially in Yun where it's very hot.
That's
Makes
gross.
sense.
I don't want to hear about this.
But I'm gonna head to the tower. Do you want to join me? The rope. You know where the rope is.
I'm coming,
Yep,
and
let's
I
go.
will get up and follow you.
I'll deal with the twins.
Our team's trash.
We'll be back as soon as we can.
No, that, you guys head off to the tower. The sun's now starting to come up. It's no longer the same beautiful sort of sunrise that you guys were treated with. It's a bit later into that, and now it's just very early morning. Town's starting to wake up around you. It doesn't exactly come to life, but there is the sound of chatter. It seems like, however, most people just kind of stay to their houses during this. And you can see there's a couple of people by the gates having some conversations, milling about sort of thing. So you guys make your way to the tower, and you're taking the rope, or you're taking the front door?
I'm assuming rope.
I'm taking the rope.
Rope.
Alright, easy enough. You guys are all fit little people. So you guys climb up, and you're back into the tower. Everything is... The papers on the desk are just wrecked. The boards have returned. There's more board poop than last time. And unless you reset it, the gate to the third floor is still open.
And the birds are perched where they were before, like up top.
They're on their
toward-
nest on top of one of the bookcases.
Hey, Rod.
Yeah?
Do you want to do some skeet shooting?
Sure, why not?
How dare
Take
you?
the. Can you get rid of those birds for me?
I'm gonna throw a dart as soon as A-Rod shoots an arrow.
Roll attacks, both of you.
Wow, it's a 5 on the die for an 11.
Wow.
Wow. What a time to whiff.
You almost fell out of the window.
Cole,
Ooh, that is 15.
Cole, high or low?
Low.
Low.
Like your height?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a sentimental person, A-Rod?
No.
No. Alright. In that case, you just miss. Just goes off to the side. Oh, it's like... Oh, it's... As you aim, Assy also pulls out the dart, and they, like, hit your bow with their elbow in the same motion, and they get one of the bird, and the bird you were aiming for just flaps out of the nest, dives bombs towards you, and just, like, makes its exit out of the tower. But the other one is in the nest still, with a giant dart sticking out of it.
Well, the birds are gone at least.
Well, you guys get going. I'll sit around here.
Alright. Yes, it's time to talk.
Alright, so you continue up to the bedroom.
I'm gonna climb up and get down my dart and the dead bird.
Alright, you can add one dead bird to your inventory if you want.
You mean 2 pickled eyes?
And meanwhile, you guys on the third
I'm just
floor,
plugging it while I'm waiting.
you can hear once again,
Did I
not in
mention
my backyard. And then I said, not in my backyard. It continues.
As I walk up the stairs, does Jitch move a lot, or does he basically just like close his eye and just hovers there?
As you come up, you can see he's currently like he's floating, but he's face down, and he's just demolishing a stack of food that wasn't there last time you were here. It's flying everywhere, and it looks like he has a 10-foot tongue that's like wrapped around us, and it's like, you ever seen a dog drink? That's how this thing is eating.
It
As
just turns
it's
into a
just
spoon.
shoveling food in. As you come up, he like looks, his tongue still out, he goes, ha. And then he like slurps his tongue in like a long spaghetti noodle as he like raises himself up to like look down past you. Who else is on the stairs? Is it all three of you? Alright.
Yep.
Oh no, I don't know what you said. Oh yay.
Hi.
Wasn't expecting you guys.
Sorry to intrude on you. After we visited you yesterday, I just,
Did you hear that?
not in my backyard.
No
That's the
way.
punchline. I love it. You're gonna miss the best part.
And then I said,
Not in
No,
my
no,
backyard.
Not in my backyard.
I
Yeah.
love it. Fantastic.
Can I get your honest opinion, Jitch? You seem smart. You're pretty much the best form out of any of us. Am I wrong?
No, you're completely correct. Perfect in every way.
How do you like being in the tower here? If I found Oba's journal, and according to the contract you made, from what I understand,
Were you snooping?
No.
No?
Nope.
No?
But I was just looking through it, seeing kind of like we were hoping to talk to him, and if I'm not mistaken, according to the contract, after you fulfill your contract, you become free, right?
Something like that. It seems so far away, I haven't put much thought into it.
What if I told you there's a way that we could get you out of the tower, still allow you to roam around and protect the tower, do your duty, but get you out of this stuffy place?
Oh, I wouldn't leave the tower. I'm supposed to protect the tower.
So, according to the contract that was written up, you are supposed to protect the tower and Oba's things. Anything that he deemed was his.
Yes.
Would you consider Oba a powerful wizard?
I mean, he was powerful enough to bring a perfect entity into this world, so you tell me.
I would agree with you. Considering
You're smarter
his
than you look.
Considering the fact that his tower is in the middle of the city.
We're in a city?
Yes, there are women and children and citizens that are outside the tower.
That sounds
Since-
delightful.
Since his tower's in the middle of the city, do you think it's fair to assume that they are under his protection? They are his citizens and it's his town?
He like stops and you can just like, you can almost hear like a Rolodex just going.
According to the contract, you're supposed to protect what's his and his tower. I think it's not a stretch even that you should be allowed outside of the tower to protect it, especially since the group of us, and I'll gesture to the ones on the stairs with me, we had to protect the town from some creatures that tried to come in from the forest. Let's say you were out there. You'd be protecting the town, you'd be protecting the tower, and the people could definitely use your help.
I feel bad, but also I don't.
They would have food for you. You'd get a little bit of fresh air. You could still be in and about the tower as you wish.
Roll
you'd be able to-
persuasion.
Can I get advantage because I called him a perfect
Sadly not.
That just made sure you didn't get killed on sight.
It's an 18 minus 1, so 17.
17.
Should have guided yourself.
Shoulda.
If I was to rotate, we can get entrance of this.
You do have a point. Are the townsfolk chatty?
A lot of them.
I do love a good conversation.
And
Can I say something quickly?
What?
I used my earring of oh fuck. I might be thinking of something else.
Yeah, I don't think you have an hearing a message yet.
Oh no, it's the other character. Damn it. Never mind.
because if I'm not mistaken, you'd still have access to the tower, so you could still come in and listen to the punchline as much as you want. They'd be able to supply you with food. And let's be honest, they're a little uncultured out there. They could use someone of your perfection, your standing. Lead them to a better way.
And if
You know?
anyone goes into the tower, I can eat them still.
Exactly.
Bongo, have you heard
You still have to defend the tower.
Bongo does not. does
And
not-
it's not like you can defend the tower from outside threats when you're
Yeah, Bongo.
stuck
Inside.
inside.
Even I know the. Even I know
How do I
the-
leave this tower?
So,
She is the.
the only thing that
Tell? You know?
that is what we are currently working on. I wanted to come consult you and make sure that we were on the same page. So the only thing that we are a little gray on is the current citizens in the town are under his care. So you cannot eat anyone in the town currently.
Unless
going
they
to
enter
go-
the tower.
If they are a harm to the tower.
One dies, one gets killed.
We are going to talk to the children, especially the children, about not entering the tower because it is Oba's, and by extension it is yours.
Is bad.
But you cannot
Okay, I mean, you're
You cannot hurt anyone that is not trying to destroy or hurt the town or the townsfolk, because that would be a breach of your contract. If a child were to come in here and start breaking things, then it is perfectly within your right to defend it, and you could eat the child. You understand?
Yes.
So,
He understands. He's perfect.
that's exactly my thought.
Don't even need to
Is it like the eye stalk like locks on Cole and he goes, yes, he understands.
So we are going to go talk to the mayor of the town, the one who's in charge of
Keep getting
keeping
violent.
everyone in order. We're going to tell him that we are going to find a way to release you, and that if you have any problems, you can talk to them. You are the smarter one.
Boom.
So you can talk to them, and you can
Me too.
find out what needs to be taken care of, protected, controlled, and we'll get you out of the tower.
We both need to enter.
Come back soon.
Okay.
I do love these conversations.
At a certain point, we're like,
When I come back, I might need to look upstairs and try and find the contract if that's all right.
No.
Just to make sure.
Off limits.
Of course. Okay, then I'll turn around and
Oh, hello.
Remember? Not in my backyard. It like just watches you as you make your
126.
way down. A-Rod and Cole going, or are you guys sticking around?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
Oh,
going.
do I? Yeah.
Yeah, no way I'm sticking around.
as soon as we get downstairs out of earshot,
I'm
gonna be like,
fighting for fish on entry. We used
you
to
know-
race each other to entry grab.
at first I wanted to give him his freedom, but
Look,
the more I
got
talk
this
to him,
one. Run.
the more completely deranged he seems to become.
He's beat hopping.
I mean, can you blame him?
Fucking jump.
Having to listen to that all the time? Mm.
30 seconds is too much for me.
Oh, I'm sure it's a good idea to let him wait for somebody.
I don't think so.
Me either. He's crazy.
So, if this is the route we are choosing to go,
Right there.
we need to get upstairs, but I don't know what is going to happen with his positioning, if that makes sense. I'm hoping that he's stuck on the stairs, but there's a chance that he might
126.
be teleported outside. There was a chance that he might be stuck in the stairs where he is. But there's a chance that if we disable the crystal that they'll be completely unsummoned.
So now he decides
So-
to go.
Pretty sure if I destroy the power source of the crystal, he'll be unsummoned.
Maybe. We
Yeah.
can't say for certain. So I think we need to be ready
So you're done.
and be willing to attack him if need be. If he gets
It does look pretty.
I don't suppose handsy is a good term for someone who doesn't have hands.
I rush from here for multiple.
I
He gets lucky.
He
Looky.
let me up, but I don't really know what to do when I'm up there.
Well, I'll try to get up. See if he'll let me up.
Go, give her.
Slow up.
Oh, was it not? I'm sorry.
Well, Wish me luck.
Guidance.
Do you actually give me guidance?
Flash out.
I can't. Paladins don't
Oh,
have me first.
fuck. Don't shame. Oh. Okay,
Assie's up.
time to give a performance.
Because you still get his team.
I'm gonna sneak up the stairs.
Are you sneaking?
Sneaking.
Alright, roll a stealth check.
It's fine.
Well, stealth. Okay, we'll go with. Okay. We're gonna go with one of the dice one of my boyfriends bought me. What's my bonus to stealth? Okay, that's a +5.
Okay, one more random 8.
Mama wants to see over 15.
Check their corners. I realized this was a second ago.
18! 18 on the die +5. 24.
23.
23.
Good math.
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know how I messed that up. 23 though. This one, I've only used it a couple of times, but every time, good roll.
Got you.
Alright.
Lovely.
Always gonna max out anyway.
Neither
So,
of you have given me.
you
Then
start
KO is max.
making your way up these stairs.
Yeah.
And you can now hear it. The same joke that everyone's been talking about. Again and again on loop.
Okay,
You can see this weird green skin, very scaly, sort of orb with 4 stalks that's just kind of watching them with its major eye, and you see the 4 other stalks darting around. As you make it to the top of the stairs, it doesn't seem like any of them fixate on you.
Yep.
On this level,
Oh,
the same description that I gave last time, allow me to refresh your memory.
okay, nice.
It's filled with several illusions, some are telling jokes, and then there's 3 others at a table playing cards. Besides that, this level is entirely empty, except for this big drool spot on the center of the floor where Jit was recently just consuming his meal, and a staircase that continues up to the 5th floor.
I beeline it.
Alright, you run up there.
I'm running and gunning.
I'm not running. I'm sneaking.
Roll a perception.
Did I mention those were
Your phrasing was gun it.
I'm not losing my stealth. If I'm sneaking, I'm sneaking. I said beeline it. That is worse than my passive.
Alright, so you make it upstairs past this thing. When you get up there, it's another very large room, but there's 7 windows that look out. The floor below there was 6, but they were all like blackened out, so then it looks like Judge can't look out. But the ones up here, you are able to look out in all directions. There's a very large mirror. There's a large chunk of what you know to be bright stone tucked into some sort of case. There's also a large crystal that's fractured in half, covered in runes. And there's a table with a pair of gloves hung over a chair next to this table.
Okay.
But something's missing. Brightstone isn't what would power this tower.
It's not magical.
Well, it is magical, but not in this way.
Not in that way, yeah.
Something's not adding up for you. And then you hear in your head, you hear a voice that goes, I can't see you, but when you're here, I can hear your thoughts. I don't know where you are. I don't know who you are. But not in my backyard.
I'm just going to think back. Can't see me because I'm not real.
We'll see about that. I've killed dreams before.
Dream killer.
I love that song.
I am going to start thinking of a song that one of my siblings used to play. and it's rather loud, rather obnoxious. It's very just loud, obnoxious music.
Okay.
Cacophony
Baby
of
shark?
sound.
And
You
what
know-
else are you doing as you're thinking of this cacophony of sound hiding from this thing?
I go over and I grab the gloves and throw them into my pocket space.
Alright.
Right.
They're
Go
gone.
over and I bump the bright stone into pocket space if I can.
It's underneath a thing of glass you'll need to move.
Okay. I won't touch that yet. I'm going to start investigating for things.
You gotta tell me what you're doing and I'll let you know.
I'm looking for something that would be a power source. I'm like, there is power here and I will find it.
You can roll investigation then.
But I'm also being real sneaky as I can manage.
Oh yeah, I bet you're being sneaky while you're humming this in your head.
No, I'm not humming it in my head. I'm thinking
You're saying it out loud?
I'm not saying anything out loud. Like I am terrified to
Sweet.
make a noise.
Alright, what'd you get for that investigation,
19.
friend? 19?
19. I got 19.
Looking over it, you can see that on the Brightstone case, there
Yeah.
seems to be a couple of little latches, but it's very, very tightly sealed. Probably even like airtight. The other thing, it's just open. It's just in a glass case. This one looks like you could just lift it up. The mirror, nothing too crazy about it. You can see that it's across from the table.
Okay.
Besides that, there's like nothing else up here.
Do I see anything if I look in the mirror?
What do you want to do with the mirror? You just want to go up and look at it?
Yeah, if I go over and I start looking at the mirror.
You see a reflection.
So in my head, I'm going like, I am so pretty, but you cannot see me because I am in the astral. Do do do. You can't see me. And I'm thinking that obnoxiously in my head, looking around. There's no beds or anything here.
Nope, the bedroom was on the 3rd floor. You on
Okay.
the 5th.
I'm going to start thinking. Sunlight through my window makes me happy. Wish you could see, but you can't because I am not real. And I go over and I start trying to like use my thieves' tools to pop open a window.
Alright, at this point, you hear in your head, Sunlight? Well, you are a fool, aren't you? Roll a sleight of hand.
Oh, that fell off. Ooh, not great at all. 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Cool.
15.
Can you also make a wisdom save for me?
I can try. Wisdom is my worst. That is a 6.
A 6?
Yeah, I got -1.
Roll 1d4 for me, please.
Did I get the window open?
We'll find out. We're getting there. Huh?
2.
2?
You're
You
going in the dice
feel
too.
the window release,
Yeah.
but at the same time something happens. Your body just freezes. And, I mean, you can't move. You're like just completely paralyzed. And then you hear a voice behind you and it goes, "Not in my backyard." And you see an eye stalk move around, and it's like looking at you in the face. And you still can't move, and you can't talk. And then you feel this tongue kind of like go across your shoulder, and it's like wrapping completely around you. And then it like comes back into his mouth.
Say very loudly, I want to do that if I were you. I have syphilis. And then I just start thinking about what syphilis does to a being, but like way over the top from what it would actually be, like bloody boils, your eyes falling out, and like popping like balloons.
Roll a deception check.
That I am good at.
I have syphilis.
That is a full 19 because I have 15 on the die plus 4.
Alright. You feel the tongue quickly like go back into its mouth. Jitch is just quiet behind you.
And I'm thinking, I am just riddled with syphilis. It's what happens when you cross between planes too often.
Alright. I'm just quickly seeing when you can remake this saving throw. You can make another. This time it is a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, beautiful. I can bonus. Ooh, 17.
17. That is a success, but the window, however, it is like a giant stained glass window. You can't open it. And this thing is just behind you. But it doesn't look like he's attacking you yet, and he's just... You hear him saying, he's like, I don't know why you're up here. I don't know what to do with you. I've never gotten this far with someone before. Do I eat you? Do I disintegrate you?
I would suggest just letting me wait a while, then I'll go back to where I came from. But I can only go back so often.
He like floats away from you, and he's still keeping his eyes on you.
Like I told you, I'm not real. And I go through and I pop my hand into actual space. And I pull out an entire hide and I throw it into the other side. But I can't open a hole big enough for myself right now.
Something's missing. Where did you put it, you dirty thief?
I didn't put anything anywhere.
The gloves.
I hate that.
Where's the gloves? Answer truthfully.
They might have gotten knocked through when I came through.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
16 plus 2.
16 plus 2. The good news is you're only going to take... 8 points of necrotic damage as a beam comes streaking out and it strikes you in the shoulder. Where is it? And we can roll initiative now if you want, but he's yelling at you. And you guys can hear the sound of Jit screaming, by the way. So if you guys want to get involved, you guys can also roll initiative.
Okay, so...
But before that, we are 3 hours in, and I believe this is the perfect time to end this episode.
Yep.
I just rolled.
So, well, I hope it was a bad roll. You'll get to roll again.
No,
tomorrow.
it's a 19.
Wasted. And to the rest of you, thank you for joining us for this episode of the Lich's Archive. We'll hopefully see you guys again in 1 to 2 weeks. We'll figure it out.
I can't believe you guys didn't warn me that he can hear your thoughts.
Bye-bye.
We didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Tell me shit.